buddy?
Already?
Or you want this one or that one?
It doesn't matter. I'll do next to Josh, actually.
Even if I don't play,
I can't exit that. Doesn't look good for me.
Yeah, that probably doesn't look good.
I tell Double that I'm like, just
don't
play.
I'm
like, just don't play. Don't exit your own out, but you know, stuff like.
yeah, no, the frog is gonna get up.
What's the
What's
Max?
So what's up?
Does anyone have?
Jay, you taking that?
I have a few chips. Oh yeah. You take my CJ.
Welcome to PBKC Streaming Live.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Here's what happened on our previous shows. We're streaming live in West Palm Beach, Florida.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to PBKC on TGIF, 1111 North Congress Avenue, West Palm Beach, right across the street from the Palm Beach International Airport. Here on the show tonight is Mike Jameson. Tonight is the Mike Show. Joining me tonight is Mike Bernier. How's it going, Mike?
Good, Mike. How are you?
Good. It's weird to have Mike on the show. In my poker guy said it's echoing right now. I wanted to figure out what that is. We had a power outage yesterday, right at the end of the show. It just went out on us. Yeah, James saying the same thing. We got an echo going on right now. We're going to figure that out. Who knows kind of things could have happened yesterday.
You said, I'm doing all that. Did you say so?
I didn't even count.
Is it still echoing? Heavy echo still.
No, you might have given me. What do you want me to do? I gave him a thousand.
Trying to figure out what that's all about.
All I know is that you started.
Still heavy echo.
Yeah, I didn't count anything. I just did it.
He just said it over there. This is the first time they're right.
If you're listening, please let us know. There's still an echo going on.
It's whatever you guys want. Hardly anybody wants to hold
Nothing was changed in our broadcast as far as we know.
Okay, I win.
No, it's the problem we have. The main volume on the XSplit, that's what Noah said. Let's see if I can figure out what he is talking about.
I don't know if I have you covered.
Yeah, you got him covered. You got.
I mean, I have like 2,000 or something. This is my first hand.
Chat, please, fellas, says rookies. Yeah, you got that right.
16. All right.
Any better now? Is it any better now?
Fair.
Play with the
Yeah, yesterday, right as we got to about the 3-hour mark, boom, electricity went out right here at PBKC. It was out for about 30 minutes. Who knows what kind of things it did to the computer systems here at PBKC.
We're going to put the whole thing on the table because I'm done with that.
We're ready.
Here, I'll give you some stripper hundreds. This guy just gave me.
There's the big hand here.
Chips.
Dad.
Oh,
I felt like I was watching myself go down ball. Lucky. That's something happened. How much do you have? That's all right.
This is my second hand.
See that feeling? That's all right.
Yeah, Mongo was here. He posted about it on Instagram also.
Oh my God, I'm talking to myself.
Why can't I win the first one?
Get your money out of the middle.
You got it? Like just play on house money.
Wait, what? What does that even mean?
Who's the guest to this game? 1200. What? Oh, just 1,000? Alright, give me the $2. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna take 1,000 off of this and put this on. Because I don't know.
So this job is why not? $50.
Trying to figure out this issue.
Of course.
We never turn the player bikes up. It has something to do with the issue with our system here.
I don't even care.
Are we streaming it? Did you get that hand?
Trying to figure out what that is.
Are we streaming it?
Chips out of my box.
Oh, man,
That was not televised.
Nobody even saw that. No one's ever gonna see that.
It's funny they say that.
We should have let
Really know.
not
Miss
told us.
Perry.
Caught the tail end of it. I thought I was trying to figure out what's going on in commentary.
Exactly. Josh says that the table isn't echoing. It's just us that's echoing right now.
Go.
Trying to figure out what that might be.
You're not supposed to do that, though. Yeah. I'll take an Irish car bomb.
Wow.
Nobody
Show it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You actually
Look at the Nodder bar.
wake up with a hand, too. That's a good
Supposed to
tip.
get action there.
No, I would 100%. I'd have called you with anything.
Are you drinking already?
Thank you. Calm down.
You sure?
Positive.
Now's a good time for you to start drinking.
I just do heroin. I don't do
Simona's actually
You used to do heroin.
How about now?
How about now? Can you hear us? Can you hear us now? Hear me now. Trying to figure out some technical problems here on our live stream, twitch.tv/PBKC Poker and on YouTube.
I'll just take
Yeah, he did. He just ordered an Irish car bomb. Right, J-Mark.
Oh, you showed? Yeah, the Ace King. Okay, that's serious.
You should have run it.
I'm just so confused right now. I don't even know.
I'm just on tilt right
So
now.
give me
Oh, tilt the world.
You
know how it
up
is.
there or no?
I thought you had to straight already.
No, I thought Mike did.
I was like, there's no way he's possible.
I thought he had a set.
Okay, how about now? Can you guys hear us now?
Flop it straight, you still
10 to 100.
Trying to figure out some things here on the
Just gear line.
X-split, which is something we had some issues with before. Okay, now it's Nando is telling us fixed. Okay, well, welcome to the show. We're here at PBKC. This is Vinnie's table, as we do every Friday night.
Yeah, that's right. All right, thank
Got a
you.
great cast of characters going right now. I'm on the show tonight. My name is Mike Jameson. I have Mike Bernier. He is in now. Moofy's checked in. Like to see you play last week, Moofy.
Well, I'm a favorite.
Mike Bernier is going to be doing the play-by-play tonight. We'll get to know him a little bit later in the show.
Excellent. Looking forward to it.
What did you have there, hand, Mike?
What'd you have?
King high flush. I'll check.
King High Flush? I didn't see that. There's a straight.
Jam sandwich.
All in.
Garrison call.
It's not taking
Straight
long to
draw.
get out of the way.
Flush draw.
We gotta get the cameras going, man. We're gonna be done.
Mo doubles up.
We're going to need chip runner today.
That one was pretty aggressive off of Garrison, but if you've watched him on the stream before, one of the more action players that we have.
I was selling
Getting
papers
in
all
with
morning.
straight draw and a backdoor flush draw against the top two from Mo.
Getting the Brinks truck backed up.
That's what we expect from Gerson. Gerson, is that is actually how you pronounce it?
I think he goes by both. I think he'll answer to both. I don't know that there's a
Sleepy Joe.
exact way.
Yeah, we loved him on the show when he's really into it. He's playing all the hands. It's really fun to watch. Last week on the show, him and Last Joe had a nice moment that happened. Slow roll. I don't know if you caught that. Slow roll seen around the world.
Yep.
You would ask him anyways.
Seeing how we've been live for approximately 4 hands, and I think Garrison's been all in for 2 of them. I think tonight might be one of those nights where we see a lot of action out of him.
Sounds like it could be a nice night here. Looks like we're 10-handed at the table right now. We'll run down the players in just a few minutes. Wow, we actually have a celebrity in the house. Jimmy Summerfeld is here. Poker Noah here. Steffi Mo, we love Steffi. P-Car, Moofy's here. J-Mark's here. Mondo's here. So is Rhino. Sharp Shot is here also. Thanks everybody for checking in right here on twitch.tv.
That's what's going on. on.
Wait,
Change your name because you were Ryan a couple days ago.
I didn't want anyone to know who I was.
Yeah, you had your first and last name.
Then I fucked up and said it.
Good strategy. Now I
I was like, I'm gonna troll Eddie here.
So hold on, your name is
This could be
Joe.
a good
This
flop
is
for
Vinnie.
Garrison.
What's your name, buddy?
Flops bottom set. Only one heart from somebody else in the hand.
Gutterson.
Never heard of this name. Ryan, Billy, Jack, JJ.
Well, that's cool. I
Your mic.
posted something about our card show on Twitter a little bit earlier, and it was liked by a gentleman. Even I know who it is. It was Phil Helmuth.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's decent. Thanks,
bad.
Phil. Thanks for the like. If you're watching the show, we appreciate that.
Are we gonna do shots or something?
Sean's asking for shots.
Well, they don't. They just told me they don't have tequila up here. So
Wait, you don't have tequila? Oh, then.
How did they not have all that?
Tequila.
you guys have to do
Suggested
tequila?
somebody go
Yeah,
past
walk
them.
to the
Can I
better
knock
shot.
doors, but they won't
It's
walk
going to make the
downstairs?
show much more entertaining.
Patrick,
That is Sean sitting between the Bulldozer and Handsome Jack, right? Yeah, Sean actually has been on the show, but nobody got to see it. That was the first time we ever used the equipment. He was on the show. That's the show that nobody will ever see, just because of certain reasons.
I've heard the stories about that. And
Ron, certain reasons that show will never be seen, but it's nice to have Sean on the show tonight.
We got a button straddle, guys. Button straddle.
trust me, I can understand why that will not see the light of day.
No, Patron, not just tequila. Get like Patron or Casamigos or something.
At least you brought the.
So we're playing 5-5-10.
25 in the
Seems
button,
like they're
guys.
letting them
Shut up for pretty much dropping off at Bill's driveway.
If somebody gets stacked, this could become a very
I
interesting
don't know
game.
how
Sean
the
is trying
50 on the
to
reach.
50.
works, but I know it's the weekend. I'm gonna be down.
Jack wasting no
Alright,
time.
range. 200. 200.
This is my first time in this game. I'm gonna just find out how the game works real quick. He's not gonna have to meet me anyway.
See if Sean defends.
He's like online. Being gritty battle.
Oh yeah.
Hunting me.
9-7. Gotta love
Let's
Sean.
go, guys.
Mix it up with anyone.
I just love the Rams has.
I just want to beat Rams one time online. Yep, 2K.
I gave him a flip yesterday.
Pretty
$400
good
flip.
board for Jack.
Of course, he has the nutters.
175.
It's one of Noah's favorite players. That's Handsome
Right?
Jack. Well, that's, Noah's allowed to call him that.
Alright, all in.
Oh yeah, there's Sean trying to represent the king, only to get caught. Jack reshoves.
That was beat me.
Takes it down.
The 10 was good.
Run down the table for everyone, and seat one, that is Steve. He is the, what did he call himself to us last week? The square dance caller. Steve is square dance caller in 2. I believe that's Glass Joe, Sleepy Joe, Polo Joe, whatever you want to call him. 3 is Vinnie. Seat 4, Gerson. Seat 5, that's the Rye guy, that's Big Rye. Seat 6, that's Bulldozer. Seat 6, 7 is Sean. Handsome Jack, then JJ, and Mike is in seat number 10.
It was on my
You guys play it last week?
It was on my No, we didn't.
Haven't been here. This is my first week back too.
Paulie wasn't here, so
You didn't play it last week?
No, we didn't.
Whatever you
Paul's
did
the
last
only
week,
one
I
that
want
can't
to
That's what we're trying to recreate.
Let's not play it then.
Mike said he doesn't want to play it, so we're good.
It's the best.
Trying to recreate magic, it sounds like.
It only favors people like
Best Zoro. I mean, when the whole room erupted when Joe did it.
Big enough.
Like sheer
That's my
poker.
cheer.
That's what we said. That's the same term we said last week. You guys want to play like if you get 2 suited cards and you win with 2
It
suited
didn't
cards?
take us
it's like
long to play
100%.
real poker tonight.
What the fuck?
Another prop.
Another goal?
And then pocket pair is also another 100%.
Sean trying to set this game up to have a lot of props, so that could be very fun to see. Maybe someone's got a 7 deuce.
No, then he's going to stand up and
Oh,
go.
they like playing 7 deuce.
Oh,
in
they
this
love
game.
playing 7 deuce in this game.
I want to see Billy sell a move. Pilot says that when he says eagle landing, every time he flaps his arms like a bird.
Eagle move.
Or eagle move.
Eagle like the bird.
And he says he does it subconsciously. He doesn't even know he's doing it.
I got the phone.
Yeah, Barefoot. We're going to give it away live on next Saturday afternoon show on Rose's show. That is July the 31st. We'll either let you know there or we'll contact you via email, Barefoot, if you do win that big dog ticket.
Backs his semi.
I mean, you figure out a way to bring him right in the fold.
He's like, if you don't know, I am in the semi while we were talking.
Get away from fire.
He was like complaining about he's like, this guy tilts me more than anybody else. I'm like, he's like, yeah, I'm working with Kyle now. No, you're not. That's a troll, obviously.
I got him a job, yeah.
He's like, really good. He says he's really good.
Really good, dude.
Yeah, of course. He has a good like
non-stop talk.
Yeah, he has a
They just buy
good. He has a
them
good
their
radio
time in to
voice.
shut
Yeah,
up.
but people are just like, okay, I'm buying. Just get off the phone.
Stop telling me about your 15 pilot stories.
Barefoot needs a new pair of shoes.
Raise it up.
We're
50.
hoping one of our normal friends in here in the Twitch chat room wins that big dog ticket. Again, all you have to do is hit exclamation enter. You're entered for a ticket. You can accumulate up to 100 tickets. Gives you a better chance of winning that seat at the big dog.
Well, it's the new 5, 10, 50.
Standard.
All right.
All right, so there's action on this hand. I think everybody, including 3 people from a table downstairs, is in this hand.
7 players.
Ooh, Gerson with a 2-pair flop. Well, we're gonna bet,
350.
and he does 350.
350.
What are you crying about now? You lost $50? I'm about to spit on him. This guy.
Oh, Mo's
Every
got a
time I
straight
ever
draw
play a
here.
game with this guy, I would just
May try to peel off another card. No, he won't.
Keep it up. Keep it up. If you want, you
Lay
get
down
money
a
for that necklace.
open-ended straight draw, which
It's like you flash them in.
I thought Steve may have peeled off another card there, maybe hit a 2 or 7. And
No.
Foldham's asking, what tournament game is this? This is just a regular cash game. What are we playing tonight, Mike?
we're playing 5-5-10 with a straddle. I don't think that they have a cap on the straddle, so it could be anything from 20 to probably like 100. I don't know that one's going to put in more than 100 on a straddle, but with these guys, you never know. I could see a couple of them just kind of go, you know what, this many.
Well, a lot of times everybody wants to know how to get into these games. The easiest game to get into on the live stream would be the Thursday show. We do a 1 p.m. Eastern Thursday show. If you want to get onto that show, just get here a little bit early on Thursday. Talk to Cynthia in the first floor poker room. Tell them you want to be on the live stream. It should get you on there. This is Vinnie's show. You can always talk to Vinnie about getting in. We have some newcomers this week, including Steve and C1 and Sean also that haven't been in this game before. Or you could talk to Rose about the Saturday game and play some PLO 1 p.m. Eastern every Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, that PLO game is a whole nother animal.
Oh.
I mean, I've watched that stream a couple times, and those guys like to put their chips in very early and very often. So if you're a PLO player, I would definitely try to talk to Rose about trying to get that one.
It's not the easiest game to follow, and it's not the game
There's a lot going on.
you want somebody new to watch because they're like, what are we watching here?
There's a lot going on. Looks like we have 3 players going to a turn.
Got 3-way action.
150.
You're about to say Maze Holder.
Used to what?
We beat the shit out
You're
of
36, right?
250.
Your son with top pair bets.
Paul, what are you, Billy?
32.
So all they have is Cuervo.
JJ's got,
Fine, it's been that.
I'm gonna guess she's gonna.
can't see,
She's gonna order a bottle.
flush draw? Yeah, he's got a flush draw.
Can I ask you
Bottle?
Well, just so
Yeah.
she can make shots of beer.
Not being weird. Would you smell
Let
that?
me have a
I think it's
Diamond
bad.
River could be a fun card.
If it's bad, I'm gonna.
No, I just want you to smell it and tell me what you think it is. Like, I think something's not right
Here,
with it.
Jack, this smells like shit. Go ahead and take a whiff.
No, I'm trying to make sure it's not just me.
I got a new dog at home. I
Good,
got a
right?
7-year-old kid. I smell bad
Yeah.
things all the time.
No, I'm sorry, Jack. I just
You know what I mean?
You call him?
I had to clean up like 4 shifts.
JJ.
Kid had diarrhea.
So
yesterday.
JJ takes that one
I
down.
only like come here. I come here to get away from
I didn't
that
know
stuff.
all that.
Yeah, Gerson and
Yeah, you're gonna know about
Always.
it. in about fucking
I don't know that we
7
should be
months or
surprised by that. But
You're gonna know all about it, bro.
November, buddy. That thing is
Donkey
good.
Bullet says, put me in Rose. I'm not 100% sure Rose is going to be here tomorrow for her table because I believe she is in the Bahamas right now on a nice little well-deserved vacation. So if you're listening, Rose, I hope you're having a great time.
I mean, if you're not going to be here, I don't know of many places that I'd rather be than the Bahamas.
Oh, I totally
I
agree.
would say that. I think that's a.
Kinda like with milk,
Well,
like,
it's Bahamas, and
pour
a
it out the
close
top of the
second
cup.
is PBKC, obviously.
Yeah, they're in the same ballpark.
Girls.
It's not like it's as bad.
Where would you put Disney on that list?
Well, unfortunately, as a father of 3 with a wife who's a Disney fanatic, I have annual go passes, so I guess I have to put that like third.
Yeah, if she's listening, then you have to, for sure.
Yeah, that's one of those where I was just like, oh, I guess I'm going to be a Disney guy now. And I've been a Disney person for 7 years now. And
It gets in your bloodstream, I think. And,
I think there's something in the water there.
oh, for sure.
Yeah, I think they get you with the water.
We've avoided that place now for the last couple of times we went up to Orlando. We're SeaWorld and Gatorland people. We just like the animals that could bite your face off type stuff.
Yeah. You know, if you're not seeing a mouse about a castle, you're seeing a shark with fangs.
Yeah, exactly. Not getting the cards on the screen right now. Just bear with us. Mike's going to try to call the game as well as he can without seeing the cards.
Okay, so there's only 2 aces left in the deck, so someone's getting frisky with either a queen or a flush draw here. 3 hearts now on the board. Let's see. Someone's going to get, yep, there's one. JJ bets, we get a call. Your son with a call. Check. JJ is going to bet out here. 260. No, 285.
It's like 285.
Gets a call. Gerson looks like he's going to fold. JJ's got a 7 for a full house. Steve had a flush. Just a bad turn card for Steve there. It gives him the flush, but it also gives JJ the boat. Nothing he can really do there with the nut flush. I like the table.
Yeah, it's the first time you've been on the show. It's a fun table from Guerrilla Gaming that we bought the table from. They've done a great job helping us. Technical problems are just something that's going to come along with such technology, with the RFID and the cards and the power going out yesterday. We have no idea what that could have done to our system, but the guys in the booth tonight are doing a fantastic job, and we're very happy with their performance so far. Just kind of getting the kinks out of the system.
Yeah, it's one of those where, especially, what are we now, like a month into this? I think it's going to be a learning process for all of us for a little while. I think,
long time. Yeah.
I think once we figure out that, okay, maybe it was this, then it's something we can zero in on and get the kinks out a little bit faster. But we're working through it, and those guys back there are doing a great job, like you said, Mike.
Yeah, Donkey Bullet is asking, is this a timed rake so there's not eligible for the bad beat? Noah's explained this on the show a few times that it is not eligible for the bad beat. It's something that we were talking about trying to do someday, because wouldn't that be the greatest thing if the bad beat was hit on a live stream, but not at the moment.
I mean, I think we would be entertained by that, but I think there would be some people that would not be entertained by that, and that might be the 30 tables downstairs. But, I mean, I digress.
He said he wasn't coming today.
5, 3, 6. Everybody got a little piece of this board, it looks like.
He ended up losing it all.
It's checked around to JJ, who might lead out here with better than the board.
He's done playing.
Is 350?
Right, he's been around for 10 years. He's not going nowhere now.
Gerson with a pair and a straight draw. I think his chips actually beat JJ's into the middle there.
Today? And he told me he couldn't make it tonight. I don't know what I didn't ask if he was.
Folds Jack with a backdoor flush draw. Gets rid of it. Heads up to the turn. Jack of hearts. That's even more outs. Gerson's got 10 outs. JJ's applying the pressure here by putting him all in. I don't know if Gerson can lay this hand down.
We want to with Lance, but I'll pay for the bottle.
Way to let that one go. I thought he was just gonna
I know you had,
basically just rip it and see if he could hit it.
No, you guys should force it. She's just getting the bottle brought up here so she could pour your shot.
JJ's running very well tonight so far.
It's a good start for him.
She's offering you a free drink.
Let's find out a little bit more about you, Mike. How long have you been working here at PBKC?
I've been here for 7.5 years now.
Wow. Yeah, you have to think, and you're like, wow, I've been here that long. Is that the feeling that comes over?
Yeah, it is. You gotta remember. It's like, man, I started back here when my oldest kid is now 10, and she was 2.5, almost 3. So yeah, it's just like trying to remember all the dates is a lot of fun.
Oh, of course it is. 3 kids. I got
Yep.
2. I got a 6 and an 8-year-old, both boys, and it's a handful. We've talked about having 3, my wife and I. We haven't started thinking about that yet, but I can only imagine you have your hands full.
I have a 10-year-old daughter, I have a 3-year-old son, and then I have a 1-year-old. So I'm right in that. I know what it's like to be thinking / just having a kid. You know, I'll tell you this much. I would recommend waiting until the hospitals are a little less COVID restriction, because it's not as fun going in and doing childbirth and all of that with COVID.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, we've had children before COVID. I can only imagine things have changed drastically.
Yeah.
I mean, I know so many people that are having babies now. Obviously, they like to call them COVID babies. I don't like that name, but people were stuck in their houses for a long time.
Yeah,
That's why there's a lot of babies being born right now.
Absolutely.
You're so happy about it. You're like, look at that.
I didn't like that.
All right, well, Sean's just going to reship here with bottom pair. Gearson with the queen.
Oh,
Run it
everyone gets
once.
run it once. It's so confusing.
Gearson basically just locks that up with the queen.
Bases? Oh.
Not quite aces, Sean. Just set. 3 of a kind. Gearson getting it in.
I want to shout out to John Martin, J-Mart, as we know him from ESPN West Palm. He's a good friend of ours here at PBKC. He was checking into the show earlier. He texted me about the audio situation we had. And he went offline for a little while, but I want to shout out to him. He's actually going to be out here broadcasting live with ESPN West Palm for our card show on Sunday with Steve Coquel, I believe his name is. They call him Coco. He's going to be on the show too from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. We also have some great door prizes. 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. is when the card show runs. It's going to be another great event. This one's going to be bigger than the last 2 that we've had, just for the fact that we have ESPN here, over 70 vendors. It should be a great day on Sunday. You into any kind of collectibles, Mike?
I actually was getting into the baseball card stuff, like our dealer right now, Brian and Noah and everyone. And I was getting them at Target, and then some people decided to do some crazy stuff at Target, and they stopped selling them there. And having 3 kids, I decided to really stop the collecting for right now. I also collect Funko Pops.
Okay.
I have a lot of those, way too many of those. So that's probably like my one childish thing that I just collect too many of.
Oh, there's so many people that do, though. And you actually are going to see those at the show on Sunday, too. I mean, it's one of those things you leave them in the boxes.
I definitely leave them in the boxes. And I get very upset when I buy some from online and the box is damaged.
Oh, yeah. I would go crazy.
My wife just bought me one. I'm a big Lilo and Stitch fan. Stitch is my favorite Disney character.
Okay.
And she bought me a limited edition Lilo with the fish trying to eat the peanut butter sandwich, and the top of the box is like shredded, and I'm like, I need to go try to find this somewhere to
That's horrible.
place the box, because I was just annoyed about that. So, but I can't blame Amazon for that, 'cause I feel like it may have been damaged before Amazon got its hands on it. But
See, I'm like you. This is getting weird. My favorite Disney character is Stitch.
yeah,
It is.
the Mikes love the Stitches.
I even have like a thing with Stitch on my little bracelet thingy. And no, it's we have a dog. We have a border collie named Lilo. And this is, that's how Mikes are, I guess.
Yeah, we like the crazy characters.
We do. We like the ones that destroy everything.
Yeah,
That's how
exactly.
we do it.
That's what we do.
That's our personalities. If you know any Mikes in your life.
Yeah, we probably destroy stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Barefoot's entering. He ran out of points finally. Hits exclamation enter to win those tickets to the big dog that'll be given away at Rose's Table on July 31st, that Saturday afternoon.
You have to close your eyes.
Call.
Vision and face king.
Alright, so Sean Charles on the button. Checks his option with 9-7. JJ is the only one whose cards we can't see.
Yes, Barefoot.
Oh, no, I agree.
1 week from tomorrow.
I was just playing me and you for 500.
Ryan flops the straight. Sean's got a draw.
Whatever you want.
Gearson's got a draw.
It's you, Jeff.
Jackson
Checks.
You want to do it too?
No, I don't want to play.
Two interesting bet here from Mo. 125 on that board with 6 high.
500. I'm down so much at 17.
Gearson calls. Here's the raise from
I
Ryan.
watched
Flop
the
it
gameplay
straight.
last week and I won
Makes
that
it
game.
500.
no 7 deuce last week. That's what I wanted.
You watched the game.
JJ
watched
looks
on
painful.
vacation.
We can't see what he
Change his
has.
cameras here,
This
buddy?
is
TV.
it's either some Hollywood or maybe he flipped the set. He's trying to figure out what to do here.
Moofy says, shout out to Mikey B. Moofy was actually on the show playing on Rose's game. Happy to have him on the show. Hope you're with us tomorrow too, Moofy.
My water had a giant piece of ice in it, so I opened it up and started exploding on me.
That's why she gave me a free shot. So I said,
hold yourself
yeah,
high.
she did. She goes like, here,
On
here's a
TV,
free
I have a higher
Here's a free
frozen water.
drink.
You wanted to chill, man.
Doing something crazy.
Said not nice.
And
She likes ice soda.
peanut butter jelly time.
Oh, I'll take care of you.
And sandwich.
You better not
Where's
do it.
Eddie? Is he ready to go?
We just get this from the.
Can't see what JJ has. I feel like this has to be like a set.
It's one of the fun things guessing what everybody's cards are on this show.
Maybe he's got a flush draw. Maybe you gotta give me 2 spades. I'm just trying to push Ryan out, not thinking Ryan is as strong as he is. Ryan, I don't think is folding here.
Hey man.
Your son might get it in with top or with middle 2 here. Mo is just Hollywooding because there's no way he's calling with 6 high. I mean, unless he decides that he doesn't like money.
Actually, if you get knocked out, I might have a chance to win.
I got two more in the pocket.
Fold.
That's a good fold.
Dude, I wish you didn't show me that.
Can't anyone just see it on the TV anyway?
Yeah,
I'm not worried about Gerson. I just think you're so committed though that.
I promise you, I have a best.
No,
I have a better hand.
Okay, wait.
I'm sorry.
I'll bet you the rest of my stack I got the best.
I call it.
Ryan
It's almost like you guys are gambling.
definitely think Ryan wins that bet.
Yeah, this is a
I call.
Oh,
I got the nuts.
You do?
Yeah,
Of
no.
course.
Nine
What did you
jack,
just hit?
and I'm dead.
I got Jack 9.
Oh,
Don't do it.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, God.
Oh my God, thank God.
So he had 9 6 of spades, so he got it in with the straight, lower straight, and the flush draw. I was gonna say I felt like it was a straight, maybe a flush draw, maybe a set. Yeah, that's he got relief on the turn with Brian putting the
Hey man,
jack of
if I
diamonds
didn't
out
think
there.
Ryan was on
How
top
tilting is
before,
that?
Chat, please follow us. What was the
Hey, Ryan,
reverb
if I didn't
issue
think
that
you
was
were on top before,
that happened at the
you're
start of the
definitely
show?
I was gonna say, I'm more tilting than getting stacked.
Updated and then
Somebody needs to
He
go
still has
check.
money on it.
de-updated our stream service, so we had issues with the mute button. I finally figured it out. And hopefully the sound is well. I hope you guys can hear the players. I hope you can hear us also. Please let us know if you can.
Right on the button straddle.
GMA Go-To is now following.
Congratulations, bud. Welcome to reality.
At least I didn't lose.
Welcome aboard. Yeah, thanks. I want to shout out to everybody that's listening from the Philippines. We had Wendy dealing on the show yesterday. She has so many family and friends, so we have a lot of people from the Philippines that are now subscribed and listening to us right here on twitch.tv.
Awesome.
75.
I picked a good sheet.
So if somebody told me that my voice is low.
But I know I'm,
Really?
Yeah.
What we can do here is just turn that up just a little bit. There you go. Oh, there we go.
His money, you take my
Literally
money.
be up.
Then he flops a set.
I have
Jack's
to
got
first
top
get it.
pair with a
if I was
medium size
quiet,
kicker.
then I
Might see
It's
some
gonna be a
action here.
normal.
maybe one of y'all
It's not
call
gonna be
for
one
sure.
of
No, because I know you.
We're gonna call.
I don't want no call. I want even him to
Vinny
call.
trying to find a spot here. Jack now has 2 pair. Vinny's got a boat. I think the ace on the river is the only thing that can hurt him here. Maybe a 9.
He came right out on the turn. Would have been great if you
Check
had
raise?
queen 9. That would have been better.
Nope, just flats.
Just queen 9 of spades. Just to crush my soul.
Deuce. Oh, 4. I was trying to see if I could figure out that card before they put it out. Try to win like a bonus prize or something. Vinny does what any other person with 6s full would do and hammer the over and get it all in. Jack trying to play out what Vinny might have in his hand. Seeing if he can put him on kings or maybe queens. See if he can not put him on a 9 here. It's hard to put anyone on a 9 here, but Jack is going to do the smart thing and let it go.
Yeah, we root for Vinny on the show. He's such a great guy, but there's something about this live stream that he just doesn't run that well on this live stream.
Yeah. Yeah, Vinny's awesome. You know, he's just had some unfortunate luck on this table.
You know who else? He probably runs the worst. He's actually a really good guy. Linnell.
Yep.
He just runs so bad on the show.
Yeah.
You know, we love having him on the show. He's very outspoken, very entertaining, but he doesn't have the best luck on our live streams.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know why either, because it's not like they do much different than they do down the tables downstairs. It's just for some reason it's a little bit more brutal on some than others.
Yeah, and I always ask the people I have on the show, you know, would you enjoy playing on the live stream, or would you rather not put yourself out there?
Yeah, I think I'd actually enjoy it just as much as I do playing normally. I think it's a fun thing. It gets your adrenaline going a little bit more than sitting at a real table, because you're trying to show your friends, like Sean right now playing with 5-3. It's like, oh, remember the hand that I smashed the board with 5-3 and took everybody's chips? It's fun. See, 5-3. He's got a straight draw. Steve flopped a set. Sean's definitely gonna bet. 500. Jack lets it go. JJ's gonna fold. Steve may get it in here, or he may just. Yeah, he got it in. We couldn't even finish that sentence, and the chips were in the middle. Let's go fold. Sean gets it in.
Square dance callers all in right now. Seat number 1.
They're gonna go twice here. First one, Sean hits a straight on the river of board number 1.
I guess I get 3/4 then. I have a flush and a straight. You got lucky you hit a 3 on me. I would have scooped you. I have a straight and a straight. And he has a straight and a set. Yeah, so he only owes me 1,005. I'll give him $5 discount here.
Ooh, the $5 discount.
That was really nice of him. Here's a question when you're playing. Everybody that I've had on the show with me, between Noah, Matt, and Josh, not one of them would want to run it twice. They want to run it twice.
I do like running it twice.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of giving, and I think that this is the table where running it twice or even sometimes 3 times. You know, these guys are all friendly with each other. You know, it's a fun game. It's very entertaining. Like, if I was playing Omaha, I don't know that I would love running it twice, because that game is so, each card changes the dynamic of the next card. But in a Hold'em game where it seems like we're all friends here, yeah, I would probably run it twice or maybe 3 times. Where it's one of those where it's like, you can kind of limit the damage and it doesn't hurt as bad, but I can see why people don't like running it twice.
I had a feeling I was going to have somebody on the show, and when I first met you, I'm like, I bet you he runs it twice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, come on, that's awesome.
I love running it twice. It's the extra adrenaline. It's kind of like playing on a live stream. You get that extra adrenaline going. It's like a whole nother level.
Yeah, I've had a gentleman, I don't know if you know him, Zona. He actually had a baby a couple of weeks ago, so we haven't seen him back on the live stream, Mike Zona, and they call them zoners. And he mentioned to me one time, people play differently on the live stream.
I would definitely agree with that. I think that there are people that definitely play different, but then there are people that don't. Your son does not play any different. He plays like that downstairs every time he plays. Like, it's not even in question. Vinnie racing here with 10s. Son calling with 9-7. I like 9-7 here.
That's the game you invited me to?
No. Well, STD.
I mean, you were tilting.
STD left early.
4-way action.
No, Ronnie wasn't there.
4 of them do a flop.
Gum, chicken, and route.
Not a bad flop for Cool Mo V.
Cool Mo V. That's a new one for him. Usually just call him Mike.
He's gonna fold
300.
Maybe he knew that we were both going to be into it tonight. He was like, I don't want to be the third
It
one.
would have been really confusing, obviously.
Yeah, that one would have been a headache.
So it's nice to know somebody that's grown up with the pain of being named Mike. And
Yes.
You know, every class you were in school, there was 2 or 3 of you. You had to call one Michael, one Mike.
I went by my last name for probably the last 14 years of my life.
Oh, wow.
They either called me Burn or Bernie or anything like that because I've had 17 friends named Mike. And
of course.
It's all of the. It's like, oh, here's the Mike squad.
It's the Mike squad.
So you just had to call us by our last names or by nicknames because it was so hard to keep track of which one of us you were going to get whenever you said Mike. I mean, if you go downstairs to the 3-card and ultimate area, because I deal those as well. At any point, if Mike May is there and if a couple of the other guys that are named Mike in there, you could have 5 of us in there. And if you say Mike, I think all of us turn around.
Of course you do.
We're like, what? And they're like, not you, the other one. I'm like, well, somebody say something.
Exactly. So confusing.
It makes it so much harder sometimes, but it's entertaining because like when you snap your head back, they're like, not you, and I'm like, one time I'm not going to turn around and you're going to say, I was trying to talk to you.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you get to deal with that.
Those boys are packed in tight. That's what the chat police fellow said. Yeah, we're 10-handed. We got some big fellows on the show tonight too.
I mean, when you have 2 guys that can play offensive line right now, in the 5 and the 6 seed, I don't know that there's a lot of extra room.
Oh, exactly. Actually, we've verified that on the show. They are both 2 former football players.
Yes.
They say Rye actually played in the NFL for the Tennessee Titans.
Yep. Ooh, this is fun. Ryan decides that he's going to get frisky with the old 4-3 offsuit. Delete chat 10, Sean Ace Queen suited, checks out Sean.
You feel like gambling? You feel like from the same orchard, buddy.
The lucky orange.
From the same orchard.
Let's see if Ryan decides that he's going to do something crazy here with 3 or 4.
Thank you for the tequila, buddy.
Thank you for the
Okay,
tequila.
wait, cheers. Did you guys do it already?
Paul.
Ship it.
They need to wait for you.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
One donator.
Cheers.
Donator. Is this
Sir pots a lot. Here I come.
I don't pot in this game. I bet
can
more
do
than
it now.
pot in this game, you know? Different.
Check.
How much is in there?
Sean playing his Omaha
Alright,
game
I'll
here,
bet
asking
Max.
how much is in the pot.
There's a guy that
Not
just
pot, just
subscribed
maximum.
named That Tall Josh. I have no idea who that could be.
I can only imagine.
No, I don't know any tall guys named Josh.
I don't either.
That makes more sense. Now it's coming.
He's on. Yeah.
I'm playing
I'm
good
just
now.
verifying that.
Yeah, of course. Nothing about how you play. Nothing about
Verify that before I flip this table over.
Ryan verifying that Sean has gone all in because
I might need to go and,
who would know?
I just think you have
I'm getting too, yeah, I might.
He doesn't have the cool little red thing that says all in on his screen.
Well, no, once or twice. Let's like
Once.
save me.
Once.
Ryan is a one-timer, it looks
Oh,
like.
you're in again? Can't help yourself.
And no good.
Thank you, buddy. Next. See, I told you, Gertz, I have your hand against you.
I beat you.
Last Friday night show, and they say this actually continued when they went downstairs too. Ryan probably had the best night of anybody I've ever seen on this show.
That wouldn't surprise me. I've seen him have some pretty good nights downstairs.
Oh, I like to play that.
That's gonna be the.
That Tall Josh is checking in, said, "Woo." Welcome to the show, and thanks for the follow, That Tall Josh.
What do you got time
And
to
we
make
go in here, Patrick Tiller.
Really nice.
You look down like that.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, you're in his head.
It's a good night for dealers that have tattoo sleeves.
Yes.
I was talking to him, and then I looked up.
No way.
I play that.
You guys are gonna make me piss myself today.
Oh, such a douchebag. Like, goddamn. So bad. It's all
I thought it was just a pure
Sleepy, put some heat on it.
Happy to have the Bulldozer back on the show. Bulldozer hasn't been on the show
Gonna feel better though.
probably at least a good 3 weeks, so happy to have him back on here. Feels normal now.
I'm actually a friend with Billy on Facebook, and outside of here, he was on vacation. I saw him out on the West Coast taking in an Angels game.
Oh, nice.
So, you know,
That's a trip right there.
yeah, anytime that you can go out and catch a West Coast baseball game, I would definitely take it in. 'Cause, you know,
He doesn't know.
I love the Angels.
Do you really?
I'm a Red Sox fan, but I love Mike Trout. So
Oh, Mike Trout.
I will always watch anything involving him.
Oh, I don't know how you dislike Mike Trout. He's obviously one of the greatest baseball players of all time.
Absolutely. And anyone that thinks otherwise is out of their mind.
Exactly. What do you think about Ohtani and all the love and sometimes criticism that
You know,
he's
there's
getting over
like
there?
the
I
war on
mean,
I-4.
you don't see a American League pitcher hitting in the 2 spot when he starts. So I mean, I think you have to definitely say that what he's done has been game changing and shattering for a lot of different things. I know there's a couple other guys that either just got drafted or in farm systems that are trying to do the same thing. So I'm going to be interested to see what happens. It seems like since he had the Tommy John surgery, he's done pretty well. So
I feel like Tommy John surgery. I feel like every pitcher now has Tommy John surgery at one point now.
I mean, I think that's a requirement. That it's like if you haven't gotten Tommy John surgery by the time you're like 20, you have to get it like by the time you're 35, so you can pitch 7 more years afterwards.
Of course, yeah. Well, that the Tommy thing. If you could choose, if you could say, would you rather him be a pitcher or a hitter? I would hands down say hitter.
Yeah,
he's a hell of a pitcher too.
Absolutely. And to be honest with you, he's probably one of the main reasons why the Angels are still in contention. Because without him, I've said it for years that the biggest problem the Angels have had is not putting players around Mike Trout. I mean, they signed Pujols to that very large contract at the tail end of his career that they're now paying him to be a Dodger. So, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like Ohtani is a guy, he's kind of taken the Ichiro role where he's like the global known star. So I'm kind of excited to see what happens with that. I mean, for his sake and for Trout's sake, I hope that they can get a couple other guys in there and maybe get a playoff run together. Because seeing those guys on the grand, scale of a playoff run, it would be pretty revolutionary to see a guy like Ohtani pitch one game and then come back the next day and be the DH and then the next day. So it's stuff like that where it's such a game changer where I think it'd be fun to see on a national scale and let fans maybe that aren't as big into baseball but will watch the playoffs see that there's a guy that can do both. And just kind of maybe he'll sell some people on becoming Angels fans.
Chat Police Felon says screwballs rip elbows.
I mean, if you remember correctly, like the Red Sox tried to sign Daisuke Matsuzaka. They said he had like 96 different pitches. None of them really worked because his ERA was like 5 when he was the Red Sox. So I don't know that having a ton of pitches helps. I think you just have to be, smart with what you do. I remember watching. There was a Sunday Night Baseball game. Ohtani pitched the first inning and threw a ball to 103, and then hit a 108-mile-an-hour home run his first at bat. And it's just how do you compete with a guy that hits the ball that hard?
Chat Police Felon is a Dodgers fan. He doesn't really care for the Angels.
I mean, yay. I mean, I think that the Dodgers are probably the favorites to
for sure
repeat. I mean, I know they're having the situation with he who shall not be named because I don't know if we really want to talk about Trevor Bauer in that situation.
Oh, no.
So, but I mean, they're still loaded. They still have Kershaw. They still have Buehler. They may need to go get another closer.
Yeah, they
Kenley
might.
Jansen might be towards the end there. He's looked bad the last 2 nights against the Giants. But I mean, they're going to be fun to watch. I love Mookie Betts, former Red Sox. Cody Bellinger hits the ball a mile when he's healthy. So, I mean, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, they have, I believe they still have Blake Treinen.
They do.
Come in close. He's been a legitimate closer at times in his career, too.
Yeah, I mean, he's an option. I mean, if the Cubs decide to sell, Craig Kimbrell's obviously an option. I think he could be a lights-out piece of that bullpen. I'm just interested that, Billy to sick quads. Hammer time.
Okay, here we go.
Dropping the hammer. Here's Son with a straight draw, leads out. Let's see if Billy just fishes him along here. I wonder if quads is a prop. If so, he may win a lot of money right now.
I haven't seen any 7 deuce play yet tonight. I'm sure it's going to happen sooner or later. Come on, Bulldozer.
Did he race?
They really
He
want
had to race something. I just can't see what it is.
How did anyone see his cards over there?
Maybe 7. No. Here's Son folds. Show it, Billy. Show it. No. Should have showed the 9.
Chat Please Felon says Taylor is killing that leadoff spot without Mookie. Yeah, that's a stacked team. I mean, when I hear the names on the Dodgers, I'm a Braves fan. I don't expect that much of them now that they lost Acuna for the year.
How do you feel about that?
It's unbelievable. I mean, he was good for baseball. I think that was the thing. He's an enjoyable guy. you know, even if you're not a Braves fan, you're still probably pulled for the guy. He's a great athlete, and it's just a shame, you know, when stuff like that happens and you see the tears in his eyes. It's hard to not feel really bad for a guy like that.
Yeah, I was actually here, and I was watching the game on the TV downstairs whenever he jumped, and when he landed, I immediately told the guy that was banking the game, I was like, oh yeah, he's not walking off the field. Like, that is not good.
And it's always a simple play, and that's what always happens. It wasn't even...
it's like he ran into a wall, or anything. He literally just jumped to try to catch a ball that was hit over his head.
Exactly.
Just crumpled like a... It just looked so bad whenever it happened live. I was just like, oh, that's not good.
Chat Police fell and said, love the Braves as a kid on TBS. Yeah, the Braves actually had spring training down here growing up.
I think we all loved the Braves on TBS.
Oh, yeah.
It was always on.
Well, when I started liking baseball, we didn't have a Marlins. We didn't have a Rays. Everybody was a Braves fan back then.
Yep. Billy has 2 pair here. Your song with a straight draw. JJ and Mo both kind of getting frisky in position here.
That last one.
The Braves were always a team that, you know, a lot of people from the South always went to because there, like you said, there was no Florida teams for a while, so they were the easy team to gravitate to. Growing up in Virginia, I watched a lot of Orioles games, and then when the Nationals came in, you know, but my dad's from Massachusetts, so kind of got born into being a Red Sox fan, so I got to live with that one, which I'm happy with, obviously. But yeah, it's baseball's that game. I actually still play baseball today.
Do you really?
Yeah, I play in a men's league out here.
Nice.
We play at the St. Lucius High School complex.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's a fun thing. We enjoy going out there every week and playing. Actually,
competitive?
We are. The league's very competitive. It's funny. We were talking about the Marlins. One of the teams actually had former Marlin Chris Volstad come out and pitch a couple innings for them.
Nice.
I will say this, I don't know if there's anything more scary than a pitch that starts at, you know, the back half of your hip and ends up in the opposing strike zone, but I don't know. That one was not fun to see.
I can only imagine. And being a Red Sox fan, you know, I've always been a fan of the Braves and whoever were playing the Yankees. So I've always rooted for the Red Sox. I still feel like the Yankees and the Red Sox is the greatest rivalry in all of sports. And I don't care what position these teams are in, first and last place, I'll watch the Yankees and the Red Sox play.
Yeah, when you look at all-time baseball rivalries, I think that one's in the discussion. I think you have to talk about the Cardinals and the Cubs. Those teams have always been, you know, bitter rivals. And then, and this will go out to the chat. Dodgers, Giants. I mean, when you look at the 3 biggest baseball rivalries, I think those 3 are the 3, and then it's everybody else.
Yeah.
And I'll watch any Dodger-Giant game. I actually watched the game last night. I watched a couple of their other games, especially if I can watch the Red Sox games in the afternoon, in the early evening, and then catch a West Coast game after the kids are in sleep. So I will always say that anytime that I can watch a series that actually means something, we'll watch it until the clouds come home.
Well, the Giants are actually having a good year too.
Surprisingly too.
Great. Yeah, it is.
They weren't expected to be what they are right now, and they're playing real well. They're definitely a team to, if they can go get a guy or two, that they can make some very big noise coming up here in October.
Wood or aluminum bats in the men's league?
It is a wood bat league.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah.
Old school, I like it.
When you break one, you know it. Trust me. Your hands will sting for a little while.
That's great.
All right, so we have JJ and Kumo V here. JJ with top pair, low with nothing. Let's see what Mo just checks it down. JJ's going to take it down with 9.
Trains are coming. You stayed out to win this? Yeah. They conquered you too?
JJ's having a pretty good start here to his evening.
Thank you.
Him and Sean both. We haven't heard a lot from JoJo over there in the 2 seat. Just kind of, maybe he's sleeping. I mean, his name is Sleepy Joe.
Could be taking a nap there. I mean, the 2 seat, you don't really see him that often. We do have that camera view that you'll see every so often. But Glass Joe, I think they moved Glass Joe last week. One night, Billy was actually having a terrible night. One of the worst nights Billy's ever had on the live stream, or maybe even in real life at a poker table. they're both going downstairs after the live stream. Glass Joe goes to open one of the doors with his foot, just kind of prop it open, and he busts the window. And everybody thought it was Billy. You know, everybody thought.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody.
Especially whenever he's having a bad night like that, you would definitely probably put him on the short list of.
I think out of the entire table, out of 10 guys, the last person I would have picked was Joe that broke the window.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably a good assumption that it wouldn't be him.
Yeah, they finally fixed it too. I'm happy to report that if you walk by that the exit to the downstairs, the window is now fixed. I don't know if that had anything to do with Joe or not.
I don't know. I feel like they should probably still put like the caution tape or like the outline of like a foot. Like don't put your foot right here in this spot because you will break the window.
You know who we look forward to seeing on tomorrow's show? Marky Mark.
Oh, the Funky Bunch.
Oh yeah, and the Funky Bunch, of course.
Yeah, I think he's actually standing right behind us.
Yeah, he sure is. Yeah, he's so much fun to have on the live show.
Oh, I love that guy.
He's got the greatest stories. Honestly, he does.
How'd you do How'd you do yesterday? He said he went no me gusta, so we're not going to talk about that anymore. Oh, we got a $25 straddle here? We want bomb pot? Oh, we're playing 2-board. Oh, this is going to get interesting. Double board bomb pot. This is going to get real interesting. So for those of you at home that don't understand what that is, a bomb pot is when everybody puts in a set amount and they go right to the flop. And this one's going to be fascinating because there's going to be 2 flops.
Double Joe will melt down.
I don't know. Do they have enough cards to do 2 flops? It's going to be interesting. Double board. Here's first board. Here's Jack Trey.
That's guaranteed.
Are we not? Oh, we're only doing 1 board. Never mind. Dang, I thought we were doing double board. I got excited. It's my favorite.
You know, one of my favorite parts of Saturday's show is story time with Marky Mark.
Ooh, those are fun.
Those are the best.
Do you have any good stories?
Oh, he's got some stories.
Are you ready for tomorrow to have some good stories? All right, he said he's ready, guys. So if you're not a PLO savant, but you want to learn how to play the game, check in and let Mark tell you a couple stories. I guarantee you'll get your money's worth.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that sat down at the table and absolutely forgot that he was on a live stream. And that's what I hope for. When anybody sits down at this live stream table, the first thing I hope is that they're not going to see the lights, they're not going to see the cameras, they're just going to act like nothing's different. And that's our friend Mark.
Absolutely. 300. Ryan's in a spot. Ryan's in a spot here. He only has 1 out, and he's going to fold.
Thank you. Ship it.
God, I had 2 overs.
It's going to be a great show tomorrow, playing some PLO. Rose's table. I don't think Rose is actually going to be at her table tomorrow. It should be a great cast of characters, 1 p.m. Eastern.
Mark, are you in charge tomorrow since she's not here?
They call him JJ Giveaway because he gives away his money and
Mark has decided that he's now the captain of this table.
He's the captain.
He's the captain. Look at him.
That was catchy.
That was my buddy's online poker game for years.
Normally they play bomb pots on a dealer change. It's very random that they put that like right in the middle of. I like it. We should do it more. Oh, I thought cool mode V folded 7 deuce. I was gonna be, oh, Joe, what do you, oh, I wonder if they don't have props on. Why would you fold 7 deuce?
Raise to 1 banana.
No, he played super net.
All right, 100.
Your song. Raises to 100. Jack 9 suited. Ryan calls.
Calls a banana.
Sean calls with the 9-5. I love it. Dolly Parton.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's the first time I've heard of Dolly.
Oh, really?
I missed that. She redid like her Playboy photo the other day at like 70 or 80 something years old.
All right, well, Gear Song gets it in with a 9 and a straight draw. Ryan with top 2.
All in, fold.
Jack says, all right, cool. I'll get in with the ace high diamond flush draw. Let's see here. Turn card is the ace to give Jack a pair. Oh, that's so gross.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Ooh, nut flush draw to runner 2 pair. I just almost fell out of my chair after watching that one. Mike can attest to that one. I almost.
He did. He's not lying. You know who we're missing at the table? He was here earlier. The Frog's just not here right now.
Yeah, we may get him back sooner than you think.
I hope so, because we're big Frog fans. Oh, I'm a
love
Frog fan.
I love Frog. The old nothing funner than runner there for Handsome Jack, as Noah likes to call him.
Wow.
That's it. No, you threw it over quick.
He just absolutely somehow hammered that one.
Ryan's hurt right now. I'm not going to kill him.
It's been a great show tonight so far because we've got a lot of characters and a lot of action on the show tonight. You run down the table, the square dance colors in 1, Last Joe's in 2, 3, that is, as always, Vinnie. Seat 4, Gerson, he's taking a break right now. Seat 5, that is the Rye guy, that's Big Rye. Seat 6, that's the Bulldozer. Moving on to seat 7, that is Sean. And then next time I see the rest of the table, okay, there goes seat 8. That's Handsome Jack. Seat 9 is JJ, and then Cool Mo V.
Cool Mo V. Cool Mo V.
I didn't do that.
I love the nickname.
Oh, I do too. I've never heard him. I'd love to see if Troy Aceman, a.k.a. Cowboy Steve, comes on the show tonight. He's usually a big Friday night guy.
Yeah, I would be interested to see Steve come up. I've had many fun conversations with Steve.
One of my favorite things about this show is when somebody, leaves. I don't want anybody to leave in disgust, but when somebody leaves the show, and you just never know who's going to sit down at the table.
Yeah, I think that's probably that'd be one of the funner things. It's literally like, oh, who's the next body? Find out next after this commercial break.
Exactly, and one of my favorite things, I was talking to Josh on the show yesterday. You could be sitting at home right now watching this and decide, like, you know what, like effing Dave does sometimes on Saturday. He tells his wife, hey, I'm going out for diapers, and ends up in a PLO game. You know what I'm saying? But that's the best thing. It looks like we currently have empty seats, at least as far as we can tell.
I'm gonna guess Gerson's just kind of walking that one off. I don't think he's done. Ryan probably the same. Neither one of those guys seem like they're guys that. I mean, they're definitely both. Jeez, Joe, come on. They must not be playing 7 douche right now, because like 2 out of the last 3 hands. Flash Joe.
Yeah.
You just ran out of weird.
I'm like taking heads up now, Flash, on 2 people shipping ahead of me. I'm like, that's pretty good fucking odds.
It's just a weird run out for him to be like, oh my god, you beat me weird.
Yeah, I saw his hand too for the run out, so I
125
for sure.
I mean, like, so much money, man. 125,
So, cash games or tournaments for you?
I actually like playing both.
Oh, wow.
I've probably played more cash recently than tournament, just because tournament's been so long. Like, everything's so long, and, with work and kids and all that, I don't know that I can necessarily put hours into it, but I can sneak away for a couple hours here and there. Make it work.
You're the anomaly on most of the people. I mean, one of the only people that I know that plays on our live stream and also plays in the tournaments is the gentleman that was standing behind us a little while ago, Marky
Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Yeah, Mark Rakoff. He's one of the only people I know. He actually made the final table with Maurice Hawkins, finished in the top 4 or 5 of the Palm Beach Summer Classic, and he's also on the live stream to play PLO. He plays everything. You don't really see a lot of guys around like that.
Yeah, no, I've known Mark since forever and a day ago. But yeah, he loves playing PLO. He loves playing tournaments. You'll see him play cash occasionally, but most of the time he used to really play Ultimate a lot for a while, and he stopped playing Ultimate. And went back to focusing on playing PLO, which I think has actually been good for Mark.
Well, he'll be on the show with some story time tomorrow. He's promised us some good stories, so tune in.
Well, that's good.
Tune in to Mark's table tomorrow.
Maybe he'll have a story about how the tournament went that he played on Thursday that I was asking him about.
Yeah, that'll be nice. I actually have a tournament going on upstairs, just a few levels up tonight. Emily's running the tournament. Tomorrow afternoon, we have a tournament starting at 12:15. And that tournament actually has double player appreciation points. And then tomorrow night, 6 o'clock tournament, that is the $100 Deep Stack Turbo tournament. So come out tomorrow afternoon for double player appreciation points.
Yeah, the day tournament's always become one of the bigger tournaments that we have for attendance. I've come up on Saturday nights to deal the night tournament because I don't work during the day. And yeah, it's been a big tournament. It's the Saturday day tournament's a bounty tournament. It's $250 buy-in, $50 bounty. Yeah, it's had 85, 90 players, I think, the last couple of weeks. So it's a fun tournament, pretty big prize pool. So, you know, if you're interested in trying to take some people out and win some money that way.
Oh, with double player appreciation points tomorrow, I can only imagine there being like at least 100 people in that tournament.
Yeah, I would say that's, especially because we're almost at the end of the month.
We are.
So I think anytime that you get double points, I think there will be a high attendance for that tournament.
And that's put on by Jamie, who's our tournament coordinator, does a fantastic job. And she also updates our PB Kennel Club poker page on a daily basis and lets you know who the player appreciation point leaders are. So just go to pbkennelclub.com and click on poker.
You stack them one more time. You stack them one more time, then I get
Trying to see if he can call here with second
and then I
pair.
get the $100 for the best low roll.
3 spades, straight draw
Are we
could get
doing
there.
No.
I don't know if JJ can. I don't know if JJ can call this one. He wants to.
I'm not gonna.
He's definitely trying to play it out in his head. He's definitely trying to call.
Yeah, it's close game.
Billy makes it 250 with his miss straight draw, miss flush
He
draw.
did it last week because he said before the stream started he was going to.
Yeah,
Seems like
because he
he's-
slow rolled
And it
me
just
the
so
day
happens
before.
to do it
And I was like,
at
get back to bed. Let's go, man. I haven't hit a straight flush in
Ooh,
2
the old
years.
reluctant call.
2 years.
Straight flush you hit? Hold up.
JJ gets the.
One star.
I think JJ's clicking all the right
Said
buttons.
it.
He really
didn't do
is.
it. I got excited for a second. You know what? I'm gonna
Any-
watch the
anything
camera.
that he can
Alright,
click,
cool.
the-
I win. Well, let me think for 30 more minutes.
That was Frog's seat, too. That was with Frog's seat. So Frog is probably really, really upset right now that he didn't stay in seat number 9.
We got Gerson back.
Now I want to get to see what Bill looks like when he's bluffing on camera. This is great.
See if we have
But it had 6 high.
Ryan back shortly as well.
Outside of your face, for any like weird like neck movement, pulsating, like ears.
Fucking
Oh,
6
shit,
high. I'm supposed to
pulsating
just
ears.
check and here you go.
What? Years.
He did read your
I'm
soul with
losing
Jack
it
Tennis,
anyway.
dude.
You want a deal on this live table, Mike?
Oh, I'd love to. I mean, but I'm friendly with pretty much all of these guys on this table tonight. Friends with most of the people in Rose's game.
Yeah.
So especially Move. Me and Move have a very fun conversation most of the time when we see each other.
Really?
Most of the time it's about his hat because he used to wear a Lowell Spinners hat. So being a Red Sox farm team, I would always me and him would go back and forth about it. So
Nice. He seems like a great guy. He was on the show last Saturday on the live show for the first time, and yeah, there he is in the chat.
hey, buddy.
Yeah, he's one of our favorite people right here on twitch.tv/PBKC Poker. We're also streaming live on YouTube, and that's the best place to watch on your smart TVs at home. Just go to YouTube and search PBKC Poker.
All from above, huh?
Sean, 2 pair here raises to 300.
Hey!
And that didn't take
Fine.
long. Mo goes all in. Mo goes all in. Sean
Once or twice, buddy. Once, right?
calls.
Alright, go ahead.
Go once, I think.
I don't understand what the problem is. Like, we
4 on the river does hit no good, and Sean takes down another one. I think Sean and JJ here are the 2 guys that aren't really missing much right now. Jack hit that big hand
He did.
where he sucked out with the runner 2 pair, where he got in with the nut flush draw.
Yeah, we haven't seen the VPIP lately. VPIP is one of those things we became obsessed with on this show. And there's been a few guys that have run over 90%. There was a gentleman on a Wednesday afternoon named Wilfredo.
Oh, you say it out loud.
See,
There
and
it
that's,
is.
that's the thing. I feel like the producers knew that 15 minutes after I would say that, there's Jack, 58%.
I feel like Sleepy Joe's 3% is really like negative 3%.
Yeah, I've never seen that low. I mean, honestly, I think Sleepy Joe's trying to set records tonight.
I mean,
You have all this
I would try to set other records, though. I don't know that that's the record that I
No,
would be going for.
Yeah, Bruce, the good doctor, who's sometimes on our Saturday shows, he's shot for the lowest VPIP before, but I don't think anybody's touched 3% before.
There's a lot of things that I don't want at 3%, including my cell phone battery, but I really wouldn't want my VPIP at that percentage. Jack 3 bets with Jacks here.
Don't worry, we're gonna be in pot. I feel like this is the night when I can
Ooh, Vinny's got ace queen of diamonds here.
exact
We might
shirt on.
get a little action here on this flop.
Ryan's back, and we have 10 tables, 10 handed
We're
again.
full again.
Try
Big.
it.
No, that really fucked me up.
Vinny goes all in with his ace queen.
You're all in, Ben?
I don't know that
We have the same shirt on.
Jack doesn't waste 30 seconds of his life here. Just
We're
calls.
all in. You got a pair, buddy?
Got some Frog fans in the chat. Goofy and Eddie PR.
Alright,
both asking for the frog. Where's the frog? I wanted to watch him. Yeah, everybody wants to watch the frog tonight, aka the fence post.
Jacks are good.
I'm trying to stack people.
Not good for Vinnie, but they're good for Jack, which he takes down another one.
Jack's got jacks.
What I missed? A couple all lines?
Yeah.
Frog's in the chat. Good.
What's up, bro?
We're frog fans on this show.
No, move the button again. There it is. Yay. I'm glad that we have a full table again.
If anybody ever says anything bad about the frog, it's usually Noah.
I'm definitely doing it.
Noah's not the biggest frog fan. I happen to be a frog fan. I root for the gentleman.
I feel like that's a bad take. Why isn't he a frog fan?
I don't know. He's really hard on the frog. The two people on the show that he seems to be the hardest on are the frog and Newman. Do you know Newman from the Saturday show?
I do.
Okay.
Anybody need any drinks or anything?
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah, here, you want a shot?
Newman hasn't been on it about 2 or 3 weeks, so maybe Newman will come back on the show tomorrow.
That'd be
You want a
fun.
shot?
I thought it was already done.
Oh,
Alright.
Sean's buying shots.
Yeah.
He's trying to liven up his table.
I mean, I don't know if he wants to give Sleepy Joe a shot. He might want to give him like a adrenaline boost.
Yeah, get him a Red Bull instead.
Something.
What do you mean a chip run?
I'm going to get chips. We have our own thing.
He's going on a chip run.
What is that?
Chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, you need me to give you some chips?
I'm going to the poker room, and I'm just letting y'all know if y'all need anything from downstairs.
Alright, you can get chips for this.
Can you get chips for
I don't know how
this?
much it is though.
That
nice.
that many.
Yeah, he's got a nice band there.
I enjoyed the fact that he said that and he goes, I don't know how much is there.
25. We're at 25.
What do you want? Orange?
You tell me, what do I need? Black. I want black. Black.
You tell me, what do I need?
Black and yellow.
Oh, I
Black
love
and yellow.
Sean.
Used to be UCF song.
I'd like to be Sean, I'll be honest with you. That's
He's a really good guy. I've hung out with him numerous times outside of here.
yeah. Hey, Joel's checking in. Joel Gibbons, he's one of our great dealers.
Oh, hey, Joel.
Says, well done, entertaining stream. He's leaving right now to come in here. Say hi when you get here, Joel. Drive safe, buddy.
Jack bets 200.
Georgia must pass everything.
Here's on folds. Jack takes. I think this has become a reoccurring theme here. Jack takes out another one. Sometimes big, sometimes little. But if you're winning, I don't know that you really care if it's big or little. Nope. You're not sending chips the other direction.
I don't think the first time we played UCF.
JJ's back after missing his big one, so he's gonna post tiers, get right back into the action. And again, he's another one that I don't know that I would necessarily be not wanting to be in the action, especially as well as him and Jack and Board.
So tonight starts the Olympics. Are you interested in the Olympics?
I will watch the Olympics. I will probably be more inclined. Oh, Jack has jacks again.
Oh, wow.
25, 75.
I will probably watch the baseball and the softball. Yeah. Obviously, being a baseball fan. And then I'll watch stuff periodically. Like I don't know necessarily that I'll go out of my way to watch like the rowing competition, but like I'll watch like the track and field. Like I try to watch the 100,
Oh, those
200,
are fun,
those.
All right, looks like
And then it's we have a race to 225 from Vinnie and Pearson wasting no time getting his chips in the middle. Billy folds deuces. Jack.
All right, all in.
Jack goes all in over the top, so we might get a three-way here. No, Vinny's smart enough to get rid of his king queen.
Like a quick around my finger. That's never happened.
We'll see what happens here. Jacks versus ace king, 60-40. And there's an ace right in the window. Hammered.
Jack with sixes.
Pearson. Oh. That's a good board.
Hello, Rose. Rose is checking in. Are you still in the Bahamas, Rose? If you are, I hope you're having a great time and enjoying yourself. And thanks for checking in tonight.
Hi, Rose.
Rose, tonight I'm on the show with Mike Bernier. It's the first time he's been on the show. He's doing a fantastic job. Have a very lively, entertaining table tonight. Great cast of characters. I hope you're doing well again, Rose.
Pearson finally gets a break there with the ace king.
Yeah.
Don't listen to them, Grayson. They don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah, Rose, we talked to Marky Mark He checked in with us, stood behind us for a little while. And he's going to be on there tomorrow. He's promised us some great stories. So if you can't come in tomorrow and you're still in the Bahamas, I hope you're enjoying yourself. And you will be missed.
Like I said, if you're going to be anywhere else besides this building, I don't think that's a bad place to be.
It sure is.
Bomb pot.
Bill's gonna sit out.
You like bomb pots? He's not sitting out. Never mind. No Vinnie. He stepped away.
Oh, I want my hundreds back. Oh, we know what it is. I want my bet back.
You want to run it back for more? Double? 200 this time?
Uh-oh.
So you get a profit?
Looks like they're going to gamble.
Say yes or no?
No, 100, man. I'm just trying to get you.
That's fine, that's fine.
You trying to fucking...
Queen jack flop. Got all the bomb pots because you have no idea what you have.
Don't worry.
And who got tired of bomb pots a couple weeks ago was Haddock Jerry.
Where's this color?
He couldn't do anything in those bomb pots.
Yeah, that's one of those where when you're running bad in them, you don't want to do them because all it is just basically going into the punch formation and just shipping chips to anybody else, not being able to play your hand.
Yeah.
Did we play the game where nobody looks at their hand until somebody bets? Oh, there's one. Because literally that went check really fast. And next thing you know, I looked up and Brian put out another ace. I was like, what? I mean, I like playing blind too, but I went around real quick. Sean makes it 125. Sleepy Joe shows his 7-3. Gearson shows a queen and folds his hand. Bluff it, Sean.
Well, on the river,
Jacks.
Can you beat the hand?
Yes, I did. I beat it. Yeah, but tell me what I had to do before.
The Brooklyn B-Man, that is Brian Gelrod, dealing right now. Has the same haircut as I do, freshly shaved. It's funny, I was sitting here earlier, him and Wes were talking about, you know, what they use to shave their heads, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, man, bald guys, you know?
Hook you guys up a little bit.
25 button.
Every time you sweat.
All right, so Jack straddles on his button here. Action's going to start on JJ. I'm surprised these two have been able to avoid each other. They really haven't gotten into a hand against each other. Come on, Joe. Make a move. I think at this point I'm rooting for Joe to just make a move and be involved in a hand.
That would be nice.
I mean, just
maybe.
gamble. Billy folded pocket nines there.
Got four-way action, guys.
Pretty big laydown.
Shots are here.
Oh, Sean's excited. Their shots.
175. 175. Quick call.
10-5 board. We have no idea what Jack had.
It's a real sweat. It's a real sweat.
It's a real live boy.
JJ might bump this up here after checking the flop.
Think long, think long. Come on, buddy. Let's go.
Oh, he folded.
I'm close second.
That's interesting.
Well, 3 ways on that to the top.
Ryan's got a 5. Sean's got absolutely nothing.
Oh, right. Oh.
6 out series. Got 3 kings, all 3 jacks.
Hold on, baby. One goes here,
Unless
one goes
Jack
here,
had
one
one of them,
goes
because
to
we can't.
Joe, and one
We
goes
don't know
to
what Jack actually had.
Yeah, yeah. You don't need to think about it.
Well, let's put
You bet the flop too, right?
Yeah.
You deserve it, buddy.
Sean's gonna call here and see if he can get lucky on the river. If not, he may just hammer the over here and try to get one through. Ooh, that's a bad river card for Sean. Ryan hits 2 pair. He checks, thinking that Sean's gonna try to rip this. Ooh,
that's a
Sean
good
is
check
smart.
back.
Yep,
That's a check
Ryan's mad that he was trying to con.
It's him, buddy.
Pro check there.
You not bad. I sweat and you don't bad. What are you doing?
Give it to.
He was afraid of the flush.
I wouldn't say the flush
Ryan scoops that one. Yeah, he was definitely mad that Sean didn't fire
He's like,
one out
2
there.
pair? I will 2 pair all night. Definitely ain't good now.
What if he goes all in? What do you do?
I don't know, you probably call him rebuy.
Get frisky if he goes
We're
all
even.
in.
We're even now, okay?
All you have to do in the chat is exclamation enter. Like Rose did a little bit earlier, and you can successfully buy a ticket. You accumulate at least 100 tickets. And that's a giveaway that suit to the big dog on Rose's game. Not tomorrow, 1 week from tomorrow on July 31st, right here on Twitch.tv and YouTube.
Yeah, that big dog's going to be a fun tournament. So if you have a shot to get into it for nothing, I don't see where hitting an exclamation point and typing in a couple letters is a bad chance.
It's a $500 buy-in tournament. We put a 50K guarantee on that. It's going to be way more than 50K. And it's turned into a multi-flight with 2 flights on August 6th. That's a Friday. 2 flights on August 7th. That's a Saturday. And then day 2 will be Sunday. And that final table will be live streamed right here.
Whoa, Sleepy Joe woke up.
Oh, there's Sleepy Joe.
Oh, he woke up.
He's got a soundtrack.
This is like a bouncer, right? They scored a VIP at this big club downtown in Charleston.
805?
805.
805 he goes all in for here.
805.
Your song with 10-8 suited. I don't think he's gonna splash around on this one. I've seen him do some other. Oh, never mind. What do I know?
Wow.
What do I know?
And then he would be like, here's whatever I gave him, he'd literally give me half.
You think it would shock you so much that Joe's playing a hand that you're just like, okay.
I mean, at this point, maybe he thinks that he doesn't have a pocket pair. Maybe he's putting him on like Ace King, and he's like, I have 2 live cards that are suited. I'm gonna just see what happens. Oh.
I guess he was like selling a bunch of people that shit out and then repoing them back and then reselling them right after or something.
Bingo!
I got 9s. You good?
Oh, Sleepy Joe.
Does that mean that his VPIP's gonna go up from 3%?
It's probably now at like 12%, I want to say.
Gee, the shot woke me up.
You said he was trying to set a record.
He was.
He just ruined his own chance.
Oh, so I was waiting for you.
Yeah, we're waiting for yours to
I got it on my head.
We'll see you later, Joe.
Anyway, JJ giveaway.
Oh, we have more shots.
He's not playing his up.
I feel like today's stream should have been sponsored by a certain kind of tequila.
Yeah, I would say so. Miss Mary is doing a great job taking care of us.
Absolutely, she's the best.
New York.
New York?
I love Miss Mary.
They just stay up all night.
Temporary.
Time, I guess. You're from New York.
I'll be 100% honest with you. We've been doing this Friday night show for 5, 6, 7 weeks. I don't know how long. Honestly, this is about as lively as the show has ever been.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of them, and I've seen where you have like a half hour, 45 minutes where you get a little bit of action, and then it's just kind of been not action, but just not as aggressive as it's been tonight. Tonight, the chips have definitely been flowing almost as much as the tequila.
Oh, for sure. There's Ben in seat number 3.
Hey, he's back.
Came back.
I need someone to like.
Whoa, Joe, whoa, slow down. You play a hand for 45 hours. You play the last 2.
You must be exhausted.
Nap time.
I was laughing.
Don't know what Gerson has. Jack's gonna bump it up here with Ace-9 off.
200. Yeah,
JJ.
well, you were there, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to like.
JJ with 10-7.
Oh, Rita?
Oh, cool Mo. Ace Queen.
Been on a few times.
I'm all in.
Oh, there it is. Joe wastes no time.
That shot did wake him
I
up.
was like, yep, I'm just gonna go ahead and ship it here.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh no, I think the only one that has a real opportunity to call him here is maybe Cool Mo.
That guy's good action, right?
Yeah.
JJ Action City.
Why isn't he coming?
He keeps going to Tampa.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know why.
Oh, yep, there it is. I think I called that one. Ace King, Ace Queen.
Come on, Mike.
I'm probably
I'm
gonna
not
win this
rooting.
because you're running
I
so
got
bad.
no rooting interest here.
Oh, that's
I
kind
mean,
of
like,
close.
I don't know.
The war with Sleepy Joe.
Diamond?
Holy shit.
Diamond? Nope. Oh, Jesus. Wow, Brian just likes inflicting pain.
He does. He really does.
Pain.
No, I'm saying you were
Any
dead
predictions
on
for the
that
fight?
flop.
Pain. That's really what's going on right now. Mo flops top pair. Joe has a flush draw. He doesn't give him the flush, he gives him the king.
Yeah, Sirakin 35, I think I'm pronouncing that right. The bad beat is still going on. The last I got an email about that. Let me see if I got one today or not.
That's got to be like 381-ish.
It's a little over 382 by now.
It's general.
I haven't won the first one.
It's well over. I haven't gotten the email about it since Wednesday. On Wednesday it was 381. I'm saying 383, 384 by now.
Yeah, I would say that's a pretty strong guess. I would definitely say that it's in the. It just keeps climbing too. I mean, one of those where when that thing hits, there's going to be some people that are going to be very excited.
Have you ever dealt a bad beat?
I have not dealt one, but I've been in the building numerous times when they've been hit, and the whole building just it becomes a whole nother level. It's almost like when we used to, what we still do with the Kentucky Derby. Whenever that race goes off and when everyone just stops.
Oh, of course.
When the bad beat gets hit, it's like that, like cranked up by like 10.
Oh, that's awesome.
So when you know whenever we are slammed for the Kentucky Derby, and that every poker table stops for that like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Whenever the bad beat gets hit, you're just like, oh, okay, that's a lot of money.
I've never been a part of a bad. I mean, since I started on the poker in January, I've never been part of a bad beat getting hit because my whole tenure in the poker it's never been hit. So I have no idea what to expect when it finally does.
What I would say is I would expect a lot of excitement for whoever hit it, but I would also probably say that there's going to be some people that are like, well, I guess I'm going to go home now.
Yeah, exactly.
5-way action on this board. Can someone not give Sleepy Joe any more tequila? Because he's literally played the last 3 hands.
Something happened. Was he really asleep?
He might have been. I need to go ask Sean if he put Red Bull in that shot. Because he's played 3 hands in a row. Kind of. Someone might want to go check on him. Ryan leads out here with a flush draw. It's called by Kumo V. We have no idea what Mo's cards are. Ooh, that's a straight for Ryan. This might get very interesting if Mo's got a... Nope, never mind. Let's say if Mo had a flush draw, I could... Oh, King 10. Okay, so he had a straight draw on the turn, but decided to not go any further. Maybe if that was the 6 of diamonds, we would have saw some fires. Mo would have had the straight draw and the flush draw. Ryan and Gearson both trying to shake off the rough start that they've had to their evening here on the table by probably going a little bit more aggressive. I've seen Ryan play some pretty big hands here. 2 pairs.
25 bucks.
Yeah, I don't think they're playing 7 deuce tonight because I've seen a couple people fold 7 deuce and no one's really trying to dabble with it. I know the Omaha game plays 7 deuce a lot more.
175.
So
the best I've seen is I believe it was last Wednesday or last Thursday. They got 7 deuce through twice, which was just absolutely shocking to me.
Yeah, there are times though when next thing you know you look up and that thing gets through a lot. And it can do some severe damage whenever you're not ready for it. Because those guys get a couple of those through and $150 to $100 a person.
Yeah,
That changes the dynamic a little bit.
oh for sure.
Ace 4 queen here. Your son with the best queen 8. Wow, that checked around real quick. Now Jack's got a flush draw. Let's see if he bets.
Their claws are only
Like time.
their claws are only like
Waste
4
no
inches,
time.
so they'll only go 4 inches deep here.
See if your son can call with 2nd pair here. The ace might be the card that scares him here, especially with Jack. Yep, that's exactly what it was. Sean folds as well, and Jack takes down another one. Shows.
Yeah, Meg posted the 381 for the bad beat. I believe that was from Wednesday. I'm pretty sure, Meg. But thanks a lot for helping out. It's got to be up there, 384, 385 by now.
You already took one.
Haven't gotten an email about that since Wednesday when Jacob sent me an email. So we'll find that out by tomorrow for sure exactly what that bad beat jackpot is. But you know, it's over $380,000, and that's a big number right there.
Yeah, it's life changing to a lot of people. I think that's a definite. If that gets hit sometime soon, and if not, then it's just going to keep going, and it's just going to potentially change more lives whenever it does get hit. Because I mean, it's a lot of money.
Were you here when they say that bad beat was over $500,000? I want to say it was 2013. I want to say they were talking about, but that's.
It may have been like right after I started, right before I started.
You want to switch seats?
Oh,
it's not long till the bad beat gets to 400K. It really
Yeah,
is. We're
no,
talking
this-
a matter of weeks.
Yeah, and this is one of those where
They just want to leave it.
it's
He's gonna melt in that.
it feels like it's not ready to get hit, but everyone is so like the minute that you put a board out that remotely is close to it, all the players start whispering, and like when you're dealing, you're just like, oh wow, this is a real thing.
Yeah.
I tend to tell myself, and this is just me whenever I'm dealing, I
This is the melt.
will put out something, I'll hear someone start whispering about it, and the first thing that goes through my mind is,
He was gonna wake
did I
you
do
up.
everything right before I dealt the cards? Of course, the last thing I want to hear that I didn't do this right. So,
And I hear when they actually hit it,
I
we
compared
go
this
back
guy
and
my
look at the
first
tape.
one and,
yeah,
like,
it's a
big
process.
deal.
It's a process. I mean, if you hit it, you're going to be here for a couple hours. So make sure you pack some snacks.
Exactly.
If not, we have a full service bar and snack area.
And then he just like,
Yeah, the good Dr. Bruce told Noah and I a story last week about
like
hitting the
my
bad
arms.
beat and Hogan, and then just a few days later hitting another bad beat, the Omaha,
Yep.
which is
that-
unbelievable.
It's funny. I've always said that it's. Oh, yes, action here. Jack with a straight draw and a flush draw. Vinnie with a set. Hammers the over. Gets the double here
Vinnie.
for 1,030. Oh, easy, Brian.
Vinnie, I think it's the first hand
Throw
I've
it
seen
to
you
the right
make
person.
about, fucking 3 months, buddy.
Yeah, actually, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's definitely a process. So
I'll give it to you by the end of the night.
I've been here for the last
You got me
3 or
earlier.
4 that have been hit. I've been in the building.
Wow.
So it's definitely a process. So like I said, just give them time because you're gonna get some life-changing money at the end of it.
Like Rose said, Lucky Doc. Doc is, I don't know this gentleman that well. He's a retired doctor.
Oh,
He's been
no.
through
And you
some-
went to Canada?
We make fun of him for the flip phone. We make fun of him because he doesn't play in a lot of hands, but he honestly just seems like the nicest guy.
Oh
you
yeah,
ever meet.
Doc's great.
I had 4 overcards. I can't connect.
He plays hands downstairs. I don't know if it's one of those. If he's one of the ones we were talking about earlier, that his game changes a little whenever he's up here. But I mean, I've seen him play hands downstairs.
What tournament?
There's some people that just don't
How'd y'all do?
that see the bright lights and they're like, I want to try to change something up because I don't want them to know how I play.
I was my
Off,
last
off of it, and you may get a different person. I mean, the guys here, these guys are playing the same way whether
I was
you
supposed to
have
bet. I can't believe that guy
937 people or
call ace queen. I'm
Yeah.
ahead. I'm like, it's ace.
Move. What are you talking about?
Queen right in the window. I'm like,
Incorrect, Goofy.
I said, how do you know? How do you know you're ahead? Like,
Yeah,
you
it's
guarded-
Rose
the
Gold
flop
and
doesn't
Goofy
even
talking in the
fucking
chat.
day
They were
one.
both at the same table on Saturday here on the live stream. You can go back and watch all those shows on YouTube.
Isn't it the one you won?
YouTube actually keeps the shows for a much longer time than Twitch here. So go to our YouTube, search PBKC Poker. Also follow and subscribe to that.
How many people?
Bruce's range. That's what
I said he plays hands. I didn't say his range was.
Like 2.5 blinds, and they gave me 100K.
I mean, if the dealer's dealing the cards he's gonna play.
Bruce is hoping and praying that someday he'll get on the broadcast and be here sitting behind the microphone and he'll get Noah on the game. He really wants to say some things about Noah.
This one guy had like all the chips.
I mean,
he had never gotten like
$30
Queens to aces is a pretty big range, Rose. I mean, that,
this guy Rami, whatever.
what, like 3 hands? I mean,
He's watching right
as
now
many-
on his flip phone.
it's as many hands as Joe's played, and
He
Joe's
wanted
tripled
his
up.
First, like 200K like cash or whatever, and only like first place
I don't think they have
12K,
cameras.
but
I think
first
Rose
place
is right
was,
with
like,
that comment. I don't
200K.
think they have cameras.
Next place was like 190, and then it was like down from there.
I'd love
I
to
was like,
go
oh, yeah,
to the good Dr. Bruce's house and like you walk inside and I need to make a phone call and you see a rotary phone there. That's my dream come true.
Each room has a different era phone. In it.
Exactly.
We have the cordless. We have the cordless in the living room. The rotary in the kitchen.
That'd be so great, wouldn't it? Bruce, if you're listening, we love you, man.
I never
He
made
sells,
hey, I
he
never
sells
made
cars
$100K.
on the side.
Hey, I never made 100K. Wait, what?
I
Then
never
he
want
raised
to
to
hit my first
135
100K
with King
cash.
Jack and is going to get 4 callers, including Sean, who's just like, I have 2 suited cards. Why not? Let's go. Ryan kind of saying the same thing.
No, they were gonna give me with the regular shop like 96K or something, and then they ended up like 5 players, guys.
You got an extra 4.
Going out the extra 4.
Queen 10 4. Jack flops top 2. Sean with a 4.
100.
JJ with the top pair. Vinnie with a straight draw. Wow, pretty much everybody but Ryan got a piece of this board in some way, shape, or form.
Can I get my? Well, the guy was gonna win. Like it was whether he gets like 200. So it's like he gave me. I forget what it was, but everyone had wanted to chop.
Is that another watermelon?
Because it was like.
Okay, 550.
I don't like
All right, Jack's not wasting any time. He's gonna say, if you're gonna get there, I'm gonna charge you for it.
Like $600, you make 100K.
Thank you, brother.
So everyone wanted to make at least 100K.
Yeah.
So
I thought we were gonna see some fireworks there between him and JJ. Two guys that have somehow been very aggressive, but very good at avoiding each other so far
Well,
tonight.
especially if you had all
Yeah, we haven't seen them lock horns
I mean,
yet.
he didn't have all of them. There was a couple guys
Sean
that
gets
were
rid of
like,
his
had
4.
some also, but
Vinnie
there
has
was
7
three of
outs,
us that
any
were
9,
really,
any
really
ace.
slow and chip, so we were all just like, yeah, make the deal.
Yeah.
They're gonna be all in the next hand. I want to flip for 50,000.
Turn Jack of spades. More outs now for Vinnie. He could hit any of his jacks, any of his kings, any ace, any 9. I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't. Ooh.
Oh, I played with you.
But I wasn't really that close.
This is like the one time from like the booth. It's like put out the river card so I can see it, because that board was very interesting, because I could see. I mean, Vinnie probably doesn't want to see it, obviously, because he's very upset with himself if any of those cards come through and hit there.
Who's your football team, NFL?
Oh. I'm a Cincinnati Bengals fan.
Oh my God!
Yeah, Joe Exotic, baby, Tiger King.
You were all over the place.
I am. Being from Virginia, my parents were big Redskin fans. I worked at a sports store, and it was basically the entire NFC East, and I decided that I was not going to root for anybody in that division. Went home one day and the Bengals were playing, and I was just like, I like those guys.
We're talking about the Icky Woods days, or later than that?
It was like, as much as this pains me, it's like the Achilles Smith days where they were like god awful.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. You know, so I've been there through Achilles Smith to Chad Ochocinco to.
He was great though.
Oh, I love Chad. Chad's one of the most underrated guys. You know, and it's probably because the things he did off the field, but like what he did for the community of Cincinnati is like doesn't get talked about. So it's like I always have a soft spot for Chad. He's fun. If you follow him on Twitter right now, he is hilarious. He's like challenging random souls to games of FIFA and like beating them like 5-0 and posting about it on Twitter. It's great. I think he could be like a pro gamer right now, and his entertainment level would be just as good as it was whenever he was doing Ensign celebrations.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite players. I had a Chad Johnson jersey. I didn't get the Ochocinco jersey.
I had a Chad Johnson jersey in white and black.
Nice.
And then I had a. This is gonna show my Bengal fan. I had a Rudy Johnson.
Wow.
The alternate orange jersey they had. Yeah. So when you're pulling like random like bad running backs out of your closet to wear to a football game, yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah, but I love what they've done with Burrow, even though they didn't have any offensive line to protect for him last year.
Yeah.
I love T. Higgins. I'm sad that A.J. Green's gone, but he wasn't going to win a title in Cincinnati, so.
Who does he play for now?
He signed with Arizona, I believe.
Did he really? Wow, that's a good sign.
Yeah, he's going to be I think he's going to be like the number 3 there behind Hopkins and. Let's see, A.J. Green. Where did he go?
I believe you are right.
He did sign with Arizona.
That's a big sign for them. They still have. Is Fitz still playing?
The first time.
He's actually not under contract right now.
Oh wow.
He may actually retire. There was actually a report put out today by fan cited that said that he may retire.
Wow.
But yeah, they have DeAndre Hopkins. AJ's there now. Kyler Murray's throwing the ball over the place.
And as long as he can see over the line, he'll do pretty
I mean,
well.
sometimes you just got to run to the right and just chuck it up as hard as you can.
So when it comes to the new rules that they're talking about with football, and obviously this has been all over the news, how do you feel about the COVID rules that they're putting in place right now?
I'm on the fence with how I feel about them, to be honest. I mean, I don't think that we can do what we did last season where we moved games and cost teams bye weeks, especially adding a week this season.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sucks that there's a potential for there to be a forfeit. I'm not one of those guys that says you have to do this, or this. I mean, I think everyone gets the choice to pick what they want to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's the good thing about
it's,
living in America is
exactly.
that anybody can make the decision. If they want to be vaccinated, they can. If they don't really have to. I am
too,
I'll be brutally honest about that. I did it because my dad is a diabetic and has other health issues, and I didn't want to be someone who I either had to stay in my house all the time or basically not be able to work because I was stuck.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to put him at risk, so I did it, for him and obviously with my kids and all that stuff.
Of course, yeah.
I went above and beyond for them. But yeah, I think that they have to do something.
So you guys have pizza here.
I just don't know that you can.
8:30.
Again, I don't know you can tell people what you can and can't do, but I think penalizing the organization is probably the only real way that you could do it. Because now you're going to fine a player, now you're going to suspend a player for it. So I mean, taking the forfeit loss, I mean, I hope for my own sake that we don't see a forfeit this year.
I hope so too.
But I mean, it is the NFL. It's almost
yeah.
It's almost like professional wrestling, expect the unexpected.
Exactly. I mean, Roger Goodell is just like the Vince McMahon of the NFL.
Oh yeah. I mean, we had. See, I'm a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
I've been to 10 of the
Yeah.
last 11 WrestleManias.
Oh,
The only one I haven't been to was the one where there was no fans because of COVID. Yeah, I go with my best friend Joe. We go to all the places, and it's literally like
You're about to pay him.
when you look back at it, like Paul Tagliabue was like the Gorilla Monsoon, where everybody loved him when he was the commissioner, and Roger Goodell gets booed out of the building like Vince McMahon did in the 90s. So it's literally hilarious that it's literally turned into professional wrestling.
He should come out to.
Yes, yes. When he comes out to do draft picks at the draft next year, he should do the strut and come out to that song every draft pick.
Oh, there's nothing like the strut. I'm telling you, that is the greatest.
I want to see a strut off between him and Conor McGregor. I think that would be hilarious.
Be amazing.
And that would give me more joy than winning the
Show me
fight.
like ace 10.
It is pretty high.
Okay, now that we've switched to wrestling, favorite wrestler of all time.
It's funny. This is something. We've had this conversation. I'm going to plug my podcast that we have. I'm on a podcast called Take 3 Wrestling with a fellow dealer that works here, Ernest Christian.
Okay, and we know Ernest is a big wrestling
Yep,
fan.
me and Ernest, we have a show with my friend Joe that goes to our WrestleManias. We've talked about this before. Growing up where I did in Virginia, we had a lot of WCW. So I always say that I'm a very big Sting fan.
Okay.
All time, he's probably in like my top 5. I mean, obviously Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels are probably 1, 2 for pretty much every wrestling fan born after 1992. I mean, a lot of people will say Hogan, but you can tell by their age that Hogan was their childhood.
Well, they didn't like real wrestling either.
That too. But Ernest being who he is, I mean, big wrestling guy. So yeah, he's a big Hogan mark. One of our topics this week was actually top 5 Hogan feuds of all time.
Okay.
I obviously had Sting at number 1 because I'm a WCW fan.
Yeah.
Ernest had, who did Ernest have at number 1?
Heads up, guys.
Maybe Savage.
Wow.
If he didn't have Savage, he had somebody close to that. Oh, that's fantastic.
That's amazing.
That is fantastic.
Sean's calling himself
Audible.
a new name. Go ahead, Mike.
Sean would like to be referred to as Sir Potsalot.
Sir Potsalot.
I love that.
I really enjoy this
I'm a
name.
fan.
Normally, they always say you can't give yourself a nickname, but in this case...
That one sticks.
Yeah.
That's 100%. Ooh, Billy, what are we doing here, buddy?
The Bulldozer and Sir Potsalot in his hand.
5 1/4.
I think Sir Potsalot's going to get there with the straight. Yep.
Call.
Yeah, Billy's not a good shot. He's like, yeah, I'm good. Hard pass.
See, I'm probably a little older than you. My Hogan and Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant, I've always liked being a big guy myself. I'm 6'4". I've always liked the larger than life characters. Like the Andre the Giants, the Big John Studs, the Big Shows, guys like that. But to me, the quintessential wrestler of all time was the Undertaker.
Yeah,
That's hands down my favorite.
I was in the building when he lost the WrestleMania streak.
I can't imagine that. I was talking to somebody about that actually today. And that's how that still hurts so many people.
That's I'll say, like I said, I've been to 10 out of the last 11, and that is him losing the streak and then him retiring, and I'll put it in air quotes, at the one here in Orlando after the match against Roman Reigns, where he put the gloves and the boots and the coat in the ring and left. Like, that's probably the 2 quietest I've ever heard a wrestling build it because it's like
Alright, bomb pot for
literally you're just watching the end of a guy who's been in our lives for the last 20 plus
Of course,
years.
like you don't know life. Like I remember when The Undertaker first came out, the person that brought him out with it was Ted DiBiase.
He was Ted DiBiase's mystery tag partner at Survivor Series. He was managed by Brother Love.
Oh, Brother Love, I remember the guy.
Yes,
the
Bruce
red
Pritchard.
face.
Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah, and I remember watching The Undertaker at the Palm Beach Auditorium, which is now the Jehovah Dome, right there on Palm Beach Lakes and Congress. And I remember we had really good seats, and we were like right there by where he came in, and just watching that guy. First of all, I'm like, they said he was 7 feet tall. I'm like, he's like 2 inches taller than I am, so he's not. First of all, but yeah, he was an amazing character. I don't think that anybody has ever stayed in character like that gentleman there. But
I'd be very surprised if anybody stayed in character better than him. I don't think there's anyone better for. Chop it up. Both of them have kings. Sean wins a prop bet between him and JJ for, I think, best hand of the bomb pot. Yeah. So we've talked about it at length on our show, Take 3 Wrestling. Me and Ernest and Joe. We have a lot of fun with that.
We're waiting for your application.
Should have checked.
I'll take it.
Oh look, it's the Tormentor of Souls, Brian, coming to eat his dinner after wrecking souls over here.
Tormentor of Souls. That's a pretty good nickname for him. If that's not a chicken Caesar wrap, then I'm calling Noah immediately.
Get him on the speed dial.
Okay.
Alright, 25 on the button.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go runner anything, don't go runner 2 pair to crush somebody else's soul. At least put the diamond out there. What are we doing?
We're talking to Brian Gelrod, who's he's about to eat his dinner right now. And he's sitting near the
Smells
broadcast.
like salmon. Got him.
Oh, you're eating healthy. What's
the
going
salmon
on?
from the paddock.
It's nothing like eating salmon and drinking Mountain Dew. That's always the best thing to do.
We got 4-way action. Cool Mo is playing 6 deuce here. I love it. Doesn't hit the board, obviously. Because for some reason we can't get 6 deuce in here. Are they playing 7 deuce tonight? They're not playing 7 deuce. That's why.
It's hard to believe.
We've literally been sitting here figuring out why people are folding 7 deuce as much as they have been, and we're like, but what are we doing? See, now having this information, we now know that Sleepy Joe just decided to take a nap whenever he got 7 deuce all those times.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Sorry, Joe.
No one folds.
Alright, so JJ's got a flush here. Vinny's got top and middle. See if he can boat up. If not, it's going to get ugly. Doesn't. Vinny checks. JJ leads out. Vinny snap calls. And flush.
One pair? Call.
Side bingo.
Flushing it.
That's crazy.
JJ wins another one.
It's fun when you're not playing.
Ooh, V-Pip.
Here we go.
Oh, Joe's over double digits. I gotta go, guys.
Handsome Jack, 63%. Sleepy Joe's now at 11%. He's still down there with some of the lowest V-Pip we've ever actually seen on the show.
I mean, Steve's isn't much better.
Two going into the river. Oh, yeah?
Vinny's been running bad. Sean is up. Sean is up a bunch.
He sure is.
Or I'm sorry. Sir Potts a lot.
Sir Potts
is up heaps right now.
Okay, here's a question for you as a wrestling fan.
Yep.
This show has taken such turns tonight. Greatest theme music ever.
Ooh. See, I have different levels of greatest theme music because, like, if you're like wanting to get fired up, it's obviously the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh,
that guitar riff is through the roof. Best for his character is probably the Undertaker's.
Yeah.
Or Stone Cold's because that glass breaking. I will probably lean. I mean, Hogan's "I'm a Real American" during the Rock and Wrestling Connection.
I mean, I had the Hulk Hogan workout set when I was 7.
Oh yeah, ship it. Those are yep.
You gotta show them all.
My favorite. I mean, the $1 Million Man had a very underestimated theme. The cackle at the beginning and then just saying money 155 times. I loved it.
You know who? You know this from last Sunday. When his music hits, I feel like it hits almost harder than anybody else. Love him or hate him, one of my favorite themes is John Cena.
Yeah, that's another one where that hits to a whole nother level. Yeah, trust me, I'm excited for him to be back. I'm gonna see what he says, and I'm gonna be excited to watch him wrestle at SummerSlam.
Well, I mean, there's not much to his in-ring talent, but he's one of the greatest talkers in history.
He got a lot better as his career went on. He was vastly underrated, I feel, in the ring for what he did. I mean, he didn't go out there and have 5-star mat classics like Bret Hart, but I mean, he was better than most for being in the position that he was in. Because a lot of those guys, when they get to that position, they just kind of phone it in. So, kind of fun that. Ooh, what's that?
Moofy needs some Razor Ramon
Oh,
talk,
Chico.
please. I love
Come
Razor
on, Chico.
Ramon. He was the best.
Yeah, his vignettes when he's in South Beach sitting on the car,
he's great.
oozing machismo. Yeah,
Toothpick in his mouth.
Yeah, give me
man.
all the Razor Ramon.
Love Razor Ramon. Every person I've known after Razor Ramon came out has always been Razor Ramon, whether they like it or not.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, Joe folding 9-5 because it's not Ace King or Queens, I guess, or nines. Gearson with jacks. Ryan with Queen Jack suited. He flops a straight draw.
Rose is gonna have to schedule those vacations better. We're gonna miss you tomorrow, really, Rose. It's not gonna be the same without you.
Who had 3-5?
4 on the 2.
Yeah, who had 3-5?
Somebody's getting pizza.
Who had 3-5?
What the
River.
Hey, good fold. Good fold.
Earlier you were calling raises.
I'm pretty sure.
Gearson's out with
2.25.
2.25. Ryan missed everything. I don't think he can call. Folds and Gearson takes out another one.
Was it suited? No. I mean, I was suited for.
Are you a hockey guy or are you a?
No, not as much.
Not a hockey guy.
I mean,
I know there's nobody else on this broadcast like Matt.
Yeah,
that's a hockey.
There's
fan.
a gentleman that comes on the show named Matt Fagan, aka the Super Fan. That I don't know. I do root for the Panthers. I don't really have a hockey team, but you cannot get into hockey with him. You just can't talk about it.
It's funny. I'm one of the one hockey guys that he actually talks to. I'm a Caps fan, and we actually talk about it. And I'll root for the Panthers if they're not playing Washington and stuff like that. So it's fun. I've talked to Matt a couple times. I've actually seen Matt at the BB&T Center.
Nice.
I'll tell you this much: if you can have as much energy as that guy has at a hockey game,
oh yeah,
you can do it. I mean, I probably need about 3 tall boy Labatt Blues before I can get that much energy going.
Nice.
You know.
Yeah, I got to know Matt very well when I was the announcer for the Greyhounds for almost 20 years. The last 6 months of Greyhound racing, Matt was one of my backup announcers. I got to know him very well. What a guy he is. He's got a great voice, got a great personality. You're going to hear him way more often on this show, too. So if Matt, you're listening, I hope you're having a great night, buddy.
Just give me a deuce.
5 players.
Yeah, this is a good game. That tall Josh. Now this is from start to beginning till now. It's been a really, really exciting game tonight.
Yeah, we went live on that first hand while we were trying to get through some audio difficulties, and Sean won that big hand where he hit a straight. It's been action tonight. It's been going 100 miles an hour. It feels like. There's not been a lot of downtime. I mean, these guys are getting it in early and often.
Yeah, Sean's taking in some PBKC pizza. What I always like to say is the pizza here, it's the best pizza in all of Belvedere and Congress, hands down. You're not going to find any better pizza at this street corner than right here at PBKC.
Nope, not at all. Definitely the best pizza in the probably 800 feet.
Yeah, at least. Yeah. You know how many times on this particular show that we're sitting here and the white and red bags come out from God's Chicken Restaurant, and you're just like, okay, come on. They're trying to move the cameras off of it, and it just doesn't work. That's happened 2 or 3 times on the show.
Yeah.
So we're very happy that the gentlemen at the table are ordering from the terrace and the snack bar.
Yes. Big fans of
You
that.
folded a jack?
Oh, look at that. Vincenzo wins the hand.
I asked for a 4. That was my 5 fucking.
Vinny, what do we need? 4.
I was setting the trap. Ryan said
He's not me, buddy. I'm the only one that busts this though.
Alright.
I just got a
Your
jack.
son making it 50 on the button for this one. This is where they seem to like. This is where we're gonna get to.
Oh, straddle battle!
Ryan just rips it to 100 right in his face. This could be fun. 2 guys that are very action players sitting next to each other.
I love that.
I do too. And then you have 2 other action players sitting in the other corner with Jack and JJ. They've just been able to find a way to avoid each other.
I believe you, buddy. I know.
Cool Mo called Jacks just flats. It's an interesting play there from Mo. Maybe he thinks Gearsan's gonna come over the top here. Gearsan calls with Queen 9. Ryan's got 10-9 suited. He raises it 200 more. Mo wastes no time. Shipping it.
Okay.
He said maximum.
He folds. Ryan snap calls. Jacks versus 10-9 suited. 805 was called instantly by Ryan. Let's see what happens here on this board. 2 clubs. I can't see.
You lost.
Jacks hold. 6 of spades was the turn card. 3 of spades river. Yeah, Ryan misses his flush draw. Cool Mo doubles up to about 1,700 now.
So talking to one of the people that works here yesterday, we're actually bringing some comedians and
Put your name as
singers and performers into the Paddock restaurant soon. The gentleman I'm guessing you probably heard of is going to be one of our first big acts in the Paddock restaurant. I want to say September 23rd is the date. Nick DiPaolo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he'll be performing live right there. Dinner and a show right there in the Paddock restaurant. I believe it's going to be September 23rd. Don't quote me on that date. The end of September, one of the last 3rd week in September, we're going to have Nick DiPaolo. And if you've been to the Paddock restaurant, you know they have absolutely fantastic food.
Yep.
And it's going to be awesome to see Nick perform.
See, here's them talking about the birth of Sir Potts.
Yeah, he's like,
They're trying to talk about Jack being called Handsome Jack.
Like, we're all,
It does kind of depend what crowd you're in.
They just looked around the room like, that's good.
500. Obviously, look at him.
They labeled him the bulldozer.
Back of the
His hair. It's definitely his hair.
No, but he's the bulldozer.
I'll do the board. Run the whole board.
Oh, he had 7
Spades,
bigs.
spades, spade. I blocked the fucking.
Oh my God, you
I have flush too. I have a flush too. Yeah, you beat me though. Yeah. I had 2
7
bigs.
dudes.
I get sucked out on.
The first night you talked about Bill earlier. The first time we ever met the Bildos was on a Wednesday night. I say it was a Wednesday night on the Vinnie show. Maybe it was a Friday night. I forget what it was. But we just see this, large gentleman come in. And somebody in the chat was like, "That's the Bulldozer." And we're like, "Do we call him that or do we not call him that?" Little we know, he's a good dude. He really is. But the funniest thing about this show, and you're realizing tonight, it's a 15-minute delay, and the players like to take a smoke break or take a break, and they're walking right behind it. So we're talking about what they did 15 minutes ago when they're standing right behind it.
Yeah,
So that makes it awkward here.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to say that you made a bad decision while you're sitting out here talking up to yourself about your bad decision.
Exactly.
Joey went back to sleep. He's folding again.
Why? He changed the name.
It's 50, Gerson. 50.
I don't know, maybe because it's 3 deuce. I don't know. Your son calls with Queen 7. Billy folds. Oh, it's your pots a lot. Oh, they changed it on there too. That's awesome. That's wonderful. I love it. Jack raises to 250 with Ace King. JJ folds, as does Mo. Gerson folds. Let's see if Sean gets frisky with Jack 5. Nope.
This is Polo Joe. Penguins swim under whales?
What? Penguins?
Oh god, now Steve's gonna get the nickname Penguin next week.
Oh shit.
It's all Billy's fault.
Steve.
I want to name myself. Hey, the first stream they were calling Polly Sexy Polly. He didn't believe me when I told him that. He's like, but they didn't fucking call me that. Sexy Polly.
What? Beat me 125.
Oh man.
50 straddle, 100 straddle. What's Billy
I'm
gonna
waiting on
do?
the third straddle. It's coming soon.
They're talking about some of the nicknames that we come up with on the show.
Look yet. He could go to
Triple straddle. I ain't gonna say
It's like Paddock Jerry said, you're not allowed to nickname yourself. It's
Unless you're Sean.
unless
obviously.
you're Sean, unless you're Sir Poncelot, then you can do whatever you want.
He's already active.
I think it's fluid.
straddle.
Yeah, he hasn't looked yet.
Yeah, but
He hasn't looked. He hasn't looked.
before.
No.
Yeah,
You got
$500 in front of you.
I didn't look.
Yeah, but come on, now y'all stretching.
It's fine. That's fine.
It's fine.
You talked him into it, right?
He hasn't looked at his cards.
Hey, what? I'm not the one to argue.
Hey,
Yeah, like,
And even if he did look, does it matter?
Nah, it's not saying how to look. He's winning with 7-3.
TJ calls with 7-6.
He wants to be tricky. He don't want us to learn him.
Oh, look at Joe folded ace 9. Gerson calls with king 7 off. See if Ryan decides to get frisky. Nope.
wow, the game was bad like mine.
Don Ramsey.
Sean trying to be respectful of the fact that there's pizza grease on his hands by not putting them on the balls.
Exactly.
Ooh, he got frisky with 4 deuce offsuit. I love it. Smashes a deuce. I wonder if he's gonna bet the pot.
No, it's business time for him.
I shouldn't have pushed up the
I told you, man. You pushed out and you gave her a golden shower.
300.
Against the rules, man. You can't do that shit.
Sir, pot's a
You
lot.
can't knock old lady down and give her a golden shower.
I'll be on Southern in the morning.
Maybe bet the button first thing. Now you
So I can get back to the
As you can see at the top of the screen, it shows how many outs that JJ has. It says that he has 7 active outs. The grayed out ones are cards that have been folded. So he needs any of the remaining 8s, 7s, or 6s.
I'm just trying to look good on camera for a little bit.
Sean not believing what's being sold to him.
I know. I just wait
Diamonds
you
all
all
over
over.
Sean.
call off the entire stack.
Technically wins the hand if he can make a call here, but a flush does get there, as does a straight.
I am your favorite guy.
It might be hard for Sir Poncelot to get it here with a deuce. I wonder if he can do it. It's an interesting board here. Straight draw gets there, flush draw gets there. JJ has had the lead in the betting, so it may be bluffing with king queen and it gets there on the river, bluffing with an ace high flush draw or something like that got there on the river. Pot is about 2,000. JJ bets 1,000, so he's bet a little under half the pot. Be interesting to see if Sean can get it in here.
Do you have one pair?
This would be super tilted.
9-8.
He's playing PLO. He's got 4 cards. Buddy, you're talking so much, you make me want to call you so bad. There you go. Check the river.
We're trying to let you guys hear Sean talk his way through this hand. Oh, he made the call. Good call. Oh, wow. With a deuce.
That's how you sweat, buddy. That's how you fucking sweat. My fucking camera's watching that shit. He lost his pizza, folks.
Sir Poncelot has dropped his slice of
Wow,
pizza
what's this guy doing?
in pure excitement.
Hey, buddy. Collections are here. Yeah, it's on that camera. This is the collection. This is my whale. Nail salon. Money.
That's awesome.
You know, I knew Brian was coming to get
The real question here, and
It's like you're a free roll on
please
1,000
don't
anyway.
eat that slice of pizza, Sean.
Please do, Sean.
Why is this guy trying to
The first time I
Dirt builds courage, I guess. Is that what we're
it
going
does.
with?
I mean, how many seconds was it on the ground? That's the question.
I don't know. He had quick reflexes.
He did.
He was very excited and then was like, I need to pick this up.
The first time we saw Sean on the show, you didn't see Sean on the show.
No.
Because we didn't actually show that broadcast for certain reasons.
Here's
You could watch.
I've heard war stories about that one.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
You can watch part of that in the intro to the show with Ron on there, and there's a certain segment where Q is eating a chicken wing with a fork while his hat's turned sideways, getting a massage from Corey. And it's one of the greatest moments I've seen at a poker table.
That may be the most cute thing that you guys could have gotten in that opening package. Because I've seen him do that a couple times, where it's just like fork in a chicken wing, hat to the left side,
Exactly.
and in between bites yelling "buddy" while he's getting a massage by somebody.
Yes.
Probably the most cute thing I've ever heard anyone describe.
We have to get him on the show.
You
again.
have to, yeah, absolutely. This hand is fascinating here. Joe calls with 8-7 of hearts, has the flush draw, but he's played like 4 hands. So I mean, I feel like if he makes a move here one way or the other, he could win this hand very easily. Billy flops, bottom pair with a flush draw, jacks.
You know, Pete,
Jack
one
could
night
get
he was
frisky
downstairs
here. I
in
don't know
Kendall
that
buying
he's
people's
really in the mood
t-shirts
to.
off of them
Yeah, he's
for
going to fold, so is
500
JJ and
until
Mo.
he got kicked out.
If anybody makes the call here, it might be
No,
Joe.
one kid was like,
275.
he was shirtless in there. He's like, I got another one
Joe
in my
decides
car.
to just say rip it. We're gonna go for it. I feel like that's become Joe's forte here. I mean, if I have any piece of this or a draw, I'm just gonna rip it and either hope nobody calls me or Billy. Oh Billy. Billy wins with a 4. Wow, that's impressive.
The dozer. Both Moofy and Matador on the last hand agreed it was a sick call. It really was.
And something that you guys, and that's the reason why I didn't try to talk a lot during that. Sean, you could hear Sean say,
Nice hand.
"You're talking a lot, which makes me want to call you."
Yeah.
So it's literally like, Sean is a very attentive player, as you can see, even though he's very attentive to that slice of pizza right now. He watches what people does, and will see what you're doing differently. And if you do something different, Sean's a guy that will pick up on that very, very quickly and will use that to his advantage. And that was one where JJ was talking maybe more than he has in any other hand that's gotten to a river, and Sean was very attentive to that situation and was able to make the right call with the best hand.
Pizza. See the pizza?
What's he doing?
I don't know. It's very interesting.
Yeah, 2 overs to
I don't know if he was like trying to poke it or pinch the pepperoni. I was so confused what was going on there for a minute. I think he's a little
25 on the button.
confused about what he wants to do next with it.
Someone give him pocket 7 if he wants to go all the way. You got more chips?
That's one of the toughest decisions he's got to make all night is whether to eat that pizza or not.
I mean, I think that's a harder decision than to make the call with the deuce there.
Oh, for
It's
sure.
like, do I do it? Do I not do it? Joe, back down to about the 900 that he had before he won those 2 hands that we were watching earlier. He has 8s, just flats. Girsan raises with ace-8 suited. Sir pots a lot. Oh, JoJo wastes no time, gets it in. Girsan calls. We'll see what happens here. Oh, wow. Joe flops a full house. Girsan drawing dead.
Wow, the case 8.
Wow. And just like that, Joe gets some of it back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
How was the beat?
Joe, Sleepy Joe, he comes through in spurts, you know. It's like a couple hands here.
He had that energy run where he won some hands, and he didn't play some hands for a while.
He did.
And then he decided to get frisky with 8-7 of hearts, and maybe that was the time not to get frisky with 8-7 of hearts. Very, very interesting. The next hand he gets 8s, and he's right back kind of where he was at. I mean, it's...
That's the roller coaster that is poker.
Come on, Jack. Triple straddle. Make it 100. Do it. Yeah! Sean did it. I enjoy the triple straddle. It's one of the things you don't see very often. So now half the players have money in this hand before Patrick even dealt a card.
That's great.
So again, this is one of the this right here is the action that may have lacked in other games.
Of course.
Having half the guys have money in the pot, you're gonna be more inclined to see, oh, it's only $100 more. I might as well. Now you have two guys that have called, and Sir Potsalot is just sitting there waiting to strike.
Every time I hear that name, Sir Potsalot, Jesus.
Your song wasted no time.
Person's all in.
Queen 5 of Hearts. This is an interesting one.
Can you give me some better cards when I'm putting 125 blind? I can't call. I have to
6 deuce. Come on, he needs to play that one for J-Gro. Come on.
Oh man.
That's what I get rewarded with.
You get rewarded with the J-Gro. You would have flopped it straight. Come on, Sean. I'm sorry, Sir Potsalot.
Gamble like that?
I'm not gambling tonight.
I'm not gambling tonight. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, pretty much. What are you doing?
Pretty much.
Oh, you fucking
Sir, was he knighted or something? Do we know that?
That's right.
I'm going to say yes.
Even if it's a diamond.
I believe he has been knighted by the royal family.
I could see
He had
that.
made everything.
I could too. It's a good one.
I can't wait to hear the commentating for that.
Yeah. You
Oh, I didn't know I didn't hear what Vinny said
You're
about
gonna have some loud commentating when it gets to that hand. Watch.
I think we finally got past the live stream.
I wish I knew what hand Vinny was talking about. I wish I could have heard what he said.
This game was terrible. The game downstairs was terrible.
The game upstairs.
Just as good.
What do you mean?
When we went off school, we
Everybody
got
was a
off
little
camera,
nervous.
we were fucking-
Ramsey wasn't nervous. He came in firing.
50. Person.
Fire.
It's all about the liquid courage.
Raised to 225.
I gotta hunt my buddy Ryan.
Oh, Jesus.
Rhino. Matching shirt.
I want to
This is the ultimate safari special.
That's tens versus
Sir Potsalot's hunting
I want
right now.
to.
I like
Like
it.
an invasive species.
I feel like I could hunt you right now.
You should have never found out he was Sir Potts.
Oh, yeah, that ruined the game.
Your son was like, I like to eat
Oh,
bananas.
Buddy, are you guys gonna give me a chance to hero call you, or is everyone gonna go all in? I have nothing. Like, this is so sad. Oh, man.
Your son has a flush draw.
Call this. I don't even.
JJ's getting it
Suck
with his
him out,
not
JJ.
flush
Suck
draw.
him out,
Oh, that's
JJ.
not good. So Ryan needs to fade every heart in the deck.
You're gonna turn him up anyway. Turn him up. Turn him up.
Just run them clean.
And he finds a way to fade him.
Whee!
Whee!
Six of heart.
The Rhino has more chips for Sir Potsalot to hunt.
It's nice to see. It's really, really nice to see
From the safari.
some action from the Rhino.
How'd you win that?
Rhino's got chips.
He liked that.
Are you just massaging my chips?
I'm going to warm them up for you to ship them over.
Don't make him sweaty.
I'll tell you this much. This has been
Have you seen
one
way
of the
I
more
play? How's it
action
not
games
for
that
sure.
I've seen.
I'm thinking it's because I'm going to give you the credit for that.
Yeah,
one,
they saw me walk in there like, we need some good commentating, so we're gonna have some action tonight. Love it. Thanks, guys.
Well, Sir Potsalot, he's helped that also.
Oh yeah,
I'm going to
yeah.
give the credit to you, though, and a little bit to him.
ship it. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, Ryan's been playing some hands. Billy, same with Jack. I'm not gonna call him Handsome Jack. I'm not gonna steal anything.
Thanks. The last male white rhino in the world recently passed away, along with the rhino. That is for sure sad news on the show. We appreciate that, Barefoot.
You just had to bring down the emotion like that, didn't you?
I love rhinos. I really do. Every time you go to Lion Country Safari, you're like,
Oh, it's the bulldozer coming by us right now.
I think those.
The four deuce of hearts. Yes. Yeah.
Just call it.
Trust me, I literally was like, wait, he's got to fade every heart in the deck. And he found a way to do it.
You get free advertisement.
Billy just walked by us. He's going outside to take a quick break. Yeah, that he's like, did you see the 3-4 of hearts hand, or has it not come up yet? I'm like, no, we just saw it. It's a pretty good one.
Oh, wait.
I thought he was going to try to talk to us about Sean's 4 deuce hero
yeah.
call. Sir Potts a lot. Queen 10, 6, 2 clubs. We have no idea what anybody has. Oh, there it is. See, I talk about it and then it shows up. You guys are great back there, by the way. I just want you
producers
guys
are
to know
doing a
that.
fantastic job tonight.
It probably was a bomb pot. That's probably why. It was the bomb pot because Brian just came in. Makes perfect sense.
All right. Let me spin my buddy in real quick. Oh, you bought your GM. Come on, strike lightning. Oh.
Let's see. Ooh, Joe's got a flush. Billy's got a queen. JJ's got a straight draw.
100.
They saw how
Bill folds. Jack. May peel another card with a gut shot. I don't know if he will or not here, knowing that JJ's behind him.
he's hooking me with like helicopter rifle.
He will not. JJ's going to peel another card, though, because he's got straight draw, even though he's drawing dead, but he doesn't know that.
Barefoot asks, how much does a deck of these new cards cost? They tell me, I want to say $500 a deck, because every single card has a chip in it.
Yeah, I would be surprised if it didn't cost that
They
much.
said that much. They could have just said that to scare the players not to mess
To
with
rip
the
them.
cards. But
Yeah, trust me, because downstairs on a normal night, we can go through some decks. Trust me, I've had nights where I've changed out decks a couple times.
Wow.
And not because of anything intentional. Just they go to peel it, and they have a fingernail, and it just clips it.
You gotta avoid the safari
Yes.
hunter.
There
I
you go.
mean,
Yeah.
it's very. Sometimes the cards are very easy to get, especially if you get them in the right spot, like the corners.
Oh, yeah. We've had it happen on the show quite a few times, too.
And probably not of anything more than just, oh, I went to see what my card was. It's just,
Oh, yeah.
That's 7. That's 7. I was like,
I didn't want JJ in there. I knew
I haven't
he
looked
always
at
got
it.
something.
Sir Potts a lot.
He's
I
always
had fun. I
lost.
wanted to straddle
Did not-
25.
I really didn't want
folded
anybody
already.
there,
No, JoJo wanted to straddle, even though he's
but I
played.
wanted to go
I was
back.
gonna reach out, but he
Yeah,
folded.
Barefoot, you remember the days of these live tables where they had little cameras right there, and you know, they'd flip their cards up and you'd see it. And, when we first got this, everybody's like looking up to like, where are the little cameras?
We went a little bit more
A
sophisticated.
little bit.
Yeah, you did. And then you.
Bill makes a call here with 4s against Gearson's.
Ace or six.
Oh, no, he 3-bet. Gearson with the 4. Gearson with King Queen.
It's
Bill
alright.
with 4s.
That's the only time I win 'em when I got
See
a
what
lot
happened on
out
the flop. Not a great flop for Billy here. The bulldozer. He checks.
Don't remember that.
How could I forget?
Yeah, he folds. Yeah, that was a really bad board for the bulldozer there.
Yeah.
It was
Two
a very
pair, and
first
then
man.
the king queen, and then the rest of them were just bad. I call them a 3.
That was a good call.
Yeah. Yeah, you're in.
I wonder if we're gonna get
I thought that was king.
Oh.
the old V pip.
Yeah, well, Barefoot, he said, never played a tournament live. Well, that could change if Barefoot does win that ticket to the Big Dog, the $500 ticket to the multi-flight Big Dog, the weekend of August 6th, 7th, and 8th. And we're giving away that ticket 1 week from tomorrow, right here live on the show, on Rhodes' show. So go ahead and click !enter and accumulate all the tickets you can. One lucky winner. All you need is one ticket, and you could win your way into the Big Dog. And there also is going to be at least 3 satellites. Jamie was telling me the other day, 2 night satellites and a day satellite to win your way into that Big Dog also. So if you don't want a ticket here, there's plenty of chances to win your way into the Big Dog tournament.
Ryan with jacks, Gearson with jack 3 of clubs. I think Gearson's trying to play some spots here with some suited cards where on a board like this where if Ryan would have checked, he would have tried to lead out that turn card, trying to represent either the ace or the king, trying to get Ryan off
The guy
of.
can't lose.
I can't lose. I have the JJs.
When you play, what's your style? If you could compare yourself to anybody at this table right now.
I'm not the most
We got 50 on the try.
super aggro, so I'm not like a Gearson or a Sir Potts a lot.
No.
I would probably say that I'm probably in like the Vinnie to JJ range, where it's like if I'm in a good spot, I might
100.
dabble with a hand that I shouldn't because
Yeah.
I'm in a good spot, or I'm
See that,
I'm
yeah.
up a bit or something like that. But you know, I have to be in a certain spot. Like if I'm not in that spot, I probably would fold a bunch of the hands that you've seen these guys play. I mean, Gearson's. I mean, are we playing with a blue deck or a red deck? Because if Gearson has 2 blue cards, he's pretty much called a lot of the hands
Yes.
pre-flop. I mean,
Yeah.
the percentage of hands played for him has got to be in like, I'd say the high 70s.
Probably.
And I mean I mean, it's worked. It's been good for the game. It's been a good stream because there's been a lot of action.
Oh, for sure.
But it's one of those things where it's. I don't know if there's another player in this building that plays as much as I've seen him play. And I mean, I deal 4 nights a week, and I see him play every hand. I see him play hands whether it's on this table or any of the tables downstairs. His game does not change. And wow, JJ double shot.
And that's what the first time I ever got a picture of him from Jamie, and it was one of the tournament because he won a daily tournament. I posted it on Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, whatever I posted on, and everybody said he's the nicest guy.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what they love about Gerson. So the first time he was on the show, I didn't know a lot to expect from him, and right away we saw what kind of player he was, and he just doesn't stop.
Yeah, I think I was actually in the chat for that.
Okay.
For that one, I think I was, because you and Noah were talking about it, and I think me and Steffi Mo both were like, yeah, he's the nicest dude in the world.
He is,
Yeah, absolutely. Jack raises here to 700 with ace jack. JJ double straddled, knowing that he was trying to find a way to get all of his chips in the middle, and he got all of his chips in the middle. Ryan folds the 9-3 suited.
You want 4 times or 6 times?
I need 6. Lord knows that's all the chance. You have a queen? Then give me a queen on turn.
I had a 3. And I had 2 spades. And I got a 3.
Ace jack holds and wins. JJ not get there with the queen deuce. I think that's it for JJ.
Well, good night, JJ. Drive safe.
I wonder if we're going to get Frog back now.
I'd like to see the Frog get back here. Chip count. Well, sure pots a lot.
He's got heaps of chips right now.
He does.
Heaps. Jack's not far behind. Ryan's run pretty good in the last about 45 minutes to get back into it. Billy straddling the button. It's going to start on Sir Potts a lot. Ooh, come on. Gamble with the 9-4. No chance. Vinny said he texted somebody. I'm going to guess it's Frog.
That'd be nice. I'd like to see the Frog back on the show. They say the Frog was in the chat. I'm not totally sure about that or not. But
Well, I heard Vinny say I texted him, so I'm just going to assume that it's Frog. Because
nice.
Frog was playing for a little bit before we went live, and he got up right as we went live to give way to JJ. So I think we're probably going to get him Frog back.
That's Frog's. That's the lily pad right there. That's the Frog, where Frog likes to be too in seat 9.
Yep.
The other one was the best until
Gets to stay off the camera most of the time.
Yeah, until we go to that side view, and then he's on the camera, and he's like, but why is the camera on?
I watched you talk yourself.
Barefoot's telling a story about losing $192.
I think he play that much at JV.
Done for the day that day, huh, Barefoot?
Oh boy. Oh. Something big is going to happen, I think, in the next like 14 and a half minutes, because
14 minutes and 50
we
seconds.
just heard a roar to our left, so that one should be interesting. I'm excited to see what that is. Ryan leads out here with second pair. Mo folds, Steve folds. Let's see if Vinny makes a call here with 8s. No. He surrenders. Ryan takes down the pot.
Barefoot says, this was at the Kennel Club my 3rd time there when I was homeless. Wow. And that's one of the things that I'm learning about poker. I learn it every day. Is that you don't know who you're sitting next to at the table.
Nope.
I mean, we know guys that play here that are honestly, and we're not even messing with you, millionaires. And we know guys that are former football players like Ryan. We know guys who are former doctors or real estate agents, lawyer. I mean, you just never know who you're sitting next to.
Yeah, trust me, I've dealt to professional baseball players.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them actively playing for the Marlins right now. One of them, minor league guy who just recently retired. To Ryan, to a couple of very well-known car people.
Wow.
Including a member of the Bremen family. Nice. So yeah, it's crazy that Kings versus Jacks. I don't know if this is gonna go well for Steve here. King 9 deuce, 5 on the turn.
No shot.
Jack knocks out Steve.
It's a really nice story. Barefoot said, I talked so much about poker, people started taking me. Someone gave me $100 to play my first game at the counter.
Oh, that's
It's a really
awesome.
nice story. It's one thing I've seen about poker players and about dealers, and they're just, you know, the family atmosphere in the poker room. Unfortunately, Charles Morris Sr. passed away on July 4th. Oh, there you go. Look who's,
Hey,
who's
what's
come
up,
back.
hey?
That's our guy right there. That's Eddie the Frog. But you know, the poker family is such a tight-knit group between dealers and players and hosts and cashiers. Everybody in there is such a tight-knit group that it doesn't surprise me at all to know that, you know, when somebody's in need, that they give their all. And that's the amazing thing I'm learning about the poker family here at PBKC.
Yeah, it's funny you bring up Charles. I got to know Charles pretty well, and it's funny. You know, I saw him a lot during the pandemic, and my wife was obviously pregnant because my daughter, my youngest one, is now just turned 1. She was actually born on the 3rd of July, so her birthday and the unfortunate tragedy kind of pulled a candle to each other. But every time I'd see Charles, it always how's Carol, how's the kids, how's the baby? She here, you got pictures. So I mean, it was really hurt when I was really hurt whenever I heard the news. I actually got a text from one of my friends that found out before everything got posted, and he reached out to me the night before everybody really knew, and I was just kind of dumbfounded. I was kind of taken aback. And funny story, I actually met my wife. She used to work here as a host the same time I was a host. I got moved up to dealing in like my second or third shift. I'm sitting on table 22 right by the window, and Charles, I'll never forget it, Charles, it's like, Carol, which is my wife's name. Carol, when are we going out to dinner? You know, being Charles. And my wife looked at him and said, I don't know, you got to ask him, and pointed to me. And he looked at me and he's like, oh, damn.
That's a great story.
So ever since then, you know, he always goes, when are you going to let me take her to dinner? When are you going to let me take her? So it's like, it was fun that I used to be able to, you know, joke around with him. And it's really unfortunate that, you know, we as a community lost Charles, but I feel worse for his family and the tragedy that they've gone through. Because I know that, you know, he lost other members of his family, you know, leading into his untimely passing. And it's I feel real sorry for that family. That, you know, I still have in my thoughts and prayers. This is one that, if it hurts us as bad as it hurts us, I can only imagine how bad it's hurting them. So it's one where I always try to take the positive and the positivity that Charles had. You know, no matter if he was up a bunch, down a bunch, Charles always had the positive energy and I try to take that, you know, with myself of, you know, trying to stay positive, because a lot of people have it worse than we do. So we're fortunate enough to be sitting here, you know, calling a game as fun as this one. So I kind of just try not to dwell on the little things, because we could be having it a lot worse. And
of course, yeah, that's you know, hundreds and hundreds of people can't be wrong. Everybody said the same thing about Charles. It's the craziest thing. He was on this live stream on July 3rd, sat in seat number 5, and that's when we first met him on the live stream. People around the world were able to see him, and you know, just gone within hours of that. That was just the most unbelievable thing. But they came together. I think on the GoFundMe raised over $15,000. Tyler said he was going to match that, so now we're up over $30,000 just in gameplay and chips. It's probably close to $5,000. So I can't wait till they pass that on to the Morris family, because like you mentioned, they've been through so much.
Yeah, and it's I'm glad that we were able to do a small part for Charles and his family, because he was an integral part of this building. I mean, he was a guy that, you know, you would see, and when you saw it, he didn't have an enemy. He didn't have an enemy in this building. And he was a person that could remember anybody's family, and so it's Sean Sir Potts-a-Lot calls Gearsons all in. We'll set a force full for Sean.
Nice handball.
Yeah, and just like Mike was mentioning, yeah, I mean, the thing I like to say
I know I'm
is
just gonna fucking smash
it wasn't PBKC that got all this together. It was the players. The players came to us and said, hey, we want to raise money for this family. Tyler's first one who did that. That's when we had the Thursday show 2 weeks ago, and right there on that show, they raised a lot of money, and then the GoFundMe, and that whole weekend was all about Charles and his memory. And it's, you know, that's the one thing I see here constantly is the players, you know, they stick up for each other, they look out for each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a great family. When Noah sometimes on the show, he asks me like, okay, you know, do you want to play at these tables? And the first thing I always say is like, am I going to be able to see the cards? And he goes, no. And I say, okay, I don't know about that. But what I always say is the one thing I never knew about this place was how much camaraderie and friendship there are at these actual tables. And you're just sitting there playing poker with a bunch of your friends.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, you know, the Thursday game, which was Tyler's game with the Aaron and Jordan and all those guys. I know they went under different code names, so you won't know
They
necessarily.
did.
Yes, but I mean, those guys play 2, 3, 4 times a week, and you know, they're the only guys in the world that I know that could be playing the game that they play. And at the end of it, whether one of them is up a lot of money or down a lot of money, they're like, all right, what do you want to go do for dinner?
Yeah.
Like there's there's never any animosity, there's never any anger. It's friends having a good time together, and I think that's the best part is that when they're playing, it's nonstop like razzing, and it just makes it so entertaining listening to them go back and forth, and it's a whole other animal. Ryan's got 2 pair here. Jack's got a straight draw.
Yeah, on that particular show, Mike was mentioning Jordan actually hit the largest pot in the history of the show, over 41K.
I was watching that hand when it happened, and I'm like, how did Aaron fold that hand?
Well,
they flipped the coin, and it was they flipped the coin and went the wrong direction. He was so angry. He was so angry. I remember him. He was steamed for probably the next 45 minutes.
He was.
Let's see here.
Yeah, we hope you come by Barefoot. Barefoot says he wants to show his face more often.
Hell yeah. Appreciate it, bud. Refreshments.
B-Man's coming through in the clutch. The official drink of the PBKC. Nothing better than sitting here talking about some exciting live stream poker, drinking some Mountain Dew.
Heck yeah. Come at you like a spider monkey chip. All jacked up on Mountain Dew. I pull that line off with Jake all the time.
Yeah, really?
I see Jake, I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
I love how they're talking to you.
If I wanted to raise some kids, I'd call them Dr. Quinn and Medicine Woman.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of those movies I can't not watch when it's on.
Oh yeah, I'm the same way. The first Anchorman.
Yeah,
the second one I'm not. I can't. I watched it a couple times. It just doesn't hold a candle to the first one. The old I'm Ron Burgundy.
Oh, yeah.
Who types a question mark on the
I'm Ron
teleprompter?
Burgundy. Yeah. Barefoot. What kind of shots did they get earlier? Tequila shots.
That was probably definitely tequila.
Okay, we got a new player here.
Oh, free.
That's somebody that you know?
He plays a lot of downstairs. Plays some games. Very action.
Oh, really?
Yes,
This will be fun.
Yeah. He also likes to get the dealer's attention before going all in. So if we see an all in, just be ready for him to be like, dealer.
I like that.
All in.
Yeah.
175.
Old move.
Is that he's a beetle?
Yeah, some people call him Beetlejuice.
No, you did good last time.
Okay, I get that now.
So yeah.
I was crushing every single day for like weeks until you made me drink that one night.
Yeah, they are. They mentioned that Barefoot a couple of minutes ago. About 20 minutes ago, they mentioned, Sir Potsalot mentioned that, hey, we're wearing the same shirt.
I feel like one of them got it from like the Big and Tall store. The other one got it from like.
It's like going to desk.
No, maybe they both got it from the Big and Tall store. Sean's like 6 foot.
Yeah, he's a tall guy too. Yeah, he might be. He needs one of those tall shirts. I know their pain. I can't wear like a regular size shirt. It's like a bare midriff shirt. I don't want to do that anymore.
Any way you can make a call downstairs for Austin?
Asking for Austin.
Oh, no.
Austin, he's on table 8.
Austin 316. Is
Is
he? Well, only let him come up if the glass breaks.
Oh, you have to. We have a glass breaking sound on here, but I don't know if it's going to work tonight like anything else.
I mean, after the start of the show, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if we should play Russian roulette.
Nobody knows. This show has gone swimmingly when you compare it to what we dealt with at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
I ended up updating the system, which screwed up the whole system. We had it all went off yesterday because of a power outage that affected the whole block. Then upstairs in the producing room, we had issues tonight. So you know, this game, I feel like, is absolutely amazing compared to the way the night started.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
extremely happy.
I walked in and we were like, what could go wrong? And then the answer was, what could go right?
Yeah, exactly.
So when that's the response, I think anything that we've gotten out of that is definitely positive.
I don't think so.
When you mentioned Austin 316, I get kind of sucked into these Facebook videos. You watch one video,
Yep, then you watch 14.
boom, and it starts showing the old tapes of Austin beating up 30 guys and stunning them all, like the WCW, ECW,
Yep.
and he's beating guys with a tire iron, and oh man, I miss that era. I really do.
3-4 good?
8's is your hand, Sleepy.
Sleepy Joe with another pair win with Bucky.
How do you keep getting active?
I couldn't really rep the quads there.
I mean, you could have repped the Wise Ship Box a lot. I think somebody would have believed you. Maybe not Joe, but somebody would have.
3 barrels and
He has the doctor.
He
does.
You got him back for the tournament.
It's so infectious.
Not really.
1 million chips.
I had ace king all in.
$40 button,
I had
guys.
ace deuce for literally double the chip leader. You were triplet after the hand.
$40. Call.
It's the frog. Oh man, I forgot about the frog.
Frog. Yeah, frog's in the hand. Let's go.
That's quite a shirt Frog has on too tonight. It's very colorful.
Yeah, I wish he would have come over and told us what anime that's from, because I don't watch a lot of anime.
No.
But I definitely feel like it's an anime shirt.
Oh, I think so too. Clowns are us. That's what matters.
That's what I thought.
I like that.
let this guy jump out of the plane.
I said,
There's a lot of
Don't worry,
It's a good flop for
I want to make moves. I know
Frog.
the praying on
Flop's
me,
top
so
pair.
I gotta be careful.
75.
Jack leads out with 8-5 suited. I love it.
You don't want to step up.
I like when all the
aggressive.
guns are at me because they might start shooting each other.
Ryan folds, Bill folds,
Good point.
Sean
I'm
folds.
gonna hit you a couple of times in the process. You can't miss all the bullets.
Miss Mary.
You're right. You're right.
All right, so Jack can hit a 4 and a 4 only
ready,
in his
Mike?
hand.
Wow.
Let's talk to that giant lion. That
Get
just
him
got
something with Red Bull.
smoked.
Diamond on the turn probably would have been a better card for him because it would have given him a flush out. But he still leads out here,
I mean,
275.
Yeah. Joe wants Miss Mary, 2 more shots, please. She's like, you want to buy the bottle?
I mean, I think Sean would have been better off.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
yeah.
Frog gets 2 pair here. This could be bad for
I'm getting my
Jack.
I'm really an
Check.
alcoholic, but you know.
These days in the
What'd you say,
closet.
recovering?
Closet out.
Look at Frog. I love
One
that
step, bro,
guy.
you don't even feel it.
I mean, listen, man. I'm
I mean,
never
that's just
quit
like warming up my
anything.
blood.
I enjoy the fact that you said
Come on, man.
Double bubble boil double.
Just let me get one.
Oh, Jack was smart to reach out.
We'll take it from there.
Come on, man.
I thought when Jack went to reach chips here that Jack was going to put a bet in and that was just going to get shoved over the top by Frog.
Andy, what game were you playing down there?
Barefoot said, I thought Frog was on there earlier. He was. He
He was there
here
for
at the
about a
beginning of
hand
the
and a
show.
half, 2 hands, and then he got up to give up the seat to JJ.
Yeah, he left, and then supposedly he was in the chat, and then he came back. So
He said he was downstairs playing 2-5. They were just talking to him about what he was playing. He said 2-5.
Barefoot said he was going to tell him the Kermit joke. I believe. Is that the same joke you said last week, Barefoot? Go ahead. Go ahead. It's late. This is a family show, but it's already 9:40 at night. Go ahead and put the Kermit joke you're talking about.
Kermit D. Frog.
You are today.
I'm keeping
Today you
Sleepy
got the
Joe
final.
because that was the best run of PLO I've ever
I
had.
got a race straddle.
And it started bad.
Race
It
straddle.
started ripping. I was like,
I was about to like.
Actually, no. You probably know this because you're really into wrestling. I was telling the story today.
$50.
There's
Oh,
a.
they put Beetlejuice up there.
They
I
did.
honestly felt
That's well. They know
that was a
Beetlejuice.
setup hand. And I was like,
Great job, producers.
Yeah. Our producers are top notch tonight. They really are.
like I think
And
I finally had like
there's
like,
2 wrestlers in history that have
He was
been
pointing at
on
yeah, like my all
wrestling the same night on different opposing wrestling shows. And Ravishing Rick Rude, I believe,
Yep.
was on WWE. And
He was on Nitro and on Raw the same
yeah.
night.
And there's a young lady that actually I know her sister is a friend of mine, and her sister
She was just on
she was just
Monday
on.
Night Raw
Yeah,
and like
her name
AEW
is-
Dark.
Yeah, her
Yep.
name is Kelsey, and it was just amazing to me because I've known of this girl for years, and then before you know it, she went from an Orlando Magic dancer to now she's an AEW wrestler, which I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I love AEW. That's my favorite wrestling.
It's funny. On the show, we talked a little bit about AEW last night, obviously, because they had a show on Wednesday night. So we we were talking about it. Ernest and Joe are both huge fans of AEW. I like AEW most of the time. There's some things that they're doing that are very aggravating to me right now, and I made my voice heard about that. But yeah, I love the fact that they're doing different stuff and new stuff, and I think that they're. I look at it from this standpoint. I think anyone that thinks it as, oh, one day they're going to take over WWE,
Not gonna happen.
I think you guys have to remember that WWE just signed a multi-billion-dollar deal with Peacock, and even if they decided to sell to someone, it's going to be to only Disney or Peacock. So I don't think that we really have to worry about anyone overtaking them.
screw it.
But I think that them just having someone to compete with strives to make them better.
Oh, they
I think,
need it.
I mean, when WCW was around, that was the best that WWE was because they were in fear of a competition. And I think that they became very stagnant. And we talked about it on the on our podcast, Take 3 Wrestling. That it's the last couple months as we were leading back into fans coming back. I was actually at the AEW show in Miami a couple weeks ago at the James L. Knight Center. Me and Ernest and our wives went. Because my wife actually watches wrestling, and so does Ernest's wife.
Wow, you guys hit the
Yeah.
jackpot. I'm
Yeah,
telling
exactly.
you.
I love it.
Man, I'll kick your coverage on
Yeah,
that one.
exactly. I found someone that doesn't give me crap whenever I go to WrestleMania. Will go to shows with me. I definitely can't complain about that. So yeah, it's nice to see that there's some competition going around because it makes everybody better. But you could see that WWE was kind of just going backwards and just kind of just trying to get to the fans coming back with nobody getting hurt or something like that. So the last couple episodes of wrestling have been nice because the fans are there, so they're actually trying to put all the stuff out on the table for the fans. So of course, I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see what AEW continues to do.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Impact, I feel like, or TNA, whatever you want to say, never really had any chance with WWE.
See, but I think it's funny, and Jeff Jarrett actually was the owner of Impact for a while.
Yeah.
He actually came out with his own podcast with Conrad Thompson called My World, and it started with something with the like they were talking about like him leaving WWE like the second time. Then when Vince bought WCW, what happened? I love that he did like a 3 or 4 episode run where it was like leading into that very first episode, like all the behind the scenes stuff, from reaching an agreement with someone to help with the financial stuff, to what he had to do with the pay-per-view companies, to the guy that he was in with the pay-per-view companies was lying to him the whole time.
Oh, wow.
Like the amount of depth that shows on that, it was so fun to listen to those. So if you're a wrestling fan, I would check those out. Big fan though of them getting people. Brother Love's another one. He has a podcast because little does many, I mean, wrestling fans don't know this, but people that only watch wrestling growing up, man, I know that he was actually a very integral part of the booking committee of WWE. He wrote a lot of stuff, so it's nice to see him go out and talk about, oh yeah, remember that guy John Cena? They did an episode where they what Cena was growing up or coming up, in the industry. So it was fun to go back and listen to them tell stories about Cena that you may not hear anywhere else.
What was his name when he came out of the Florida Wrestling Association? What was his name, like the Terminator or something like that?
Yeah, I think it was like the Terminator or something.
Is there any pepperonis left
No,
over?
it's Barefoot's. He said his little Kermit joke and said, after my power line got struck by lightning, my neighbor came out in his wheelchair and was pretending to swim in the puddles for the parking lot corner. That's fun times, non-poker related. This stuff I got to see every day. I'm going on vacation a week from Saturday when I win the big dog. Yeah, we hope you do, Barefoot. I'm going to be rooting for you, Rose, Vinnie, everybody that's entered. Moofy also. I want to see all you guys get into the big dog. I just hope it's somebody that we know and we're friends with right here on twitch.tv/PBKC Poker. If you already haven't done that, subscribe, hit the follow button here. If you listen on YouTube, we do shows 3 times a week. Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern, and Friday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern right here on Twitch and on YouTube. And final tables, and those come up too in the big tournaments like the Big Dog, come up the weekend of August 6th, 7th, and 8th.
All right, so Mo has flopped 2 pair. Sleepy Joe has a straight draw. Beetlejuice has a straight draw. And Brian are... They're here. I don't know that I would necessarily want to be here with these hands. Billy's got bottom pair, so does Serpat's a lot.
He said he played with Steve and them one night when I wasn't here.
Hot dog, aisle 4.
Thank you. I didn't let him know.
Ooh, frogs over there too. We had to put a graphic on the right-hand side.
We did.
Wow. So this is the everybody's in this hand.
And Rem's got him.
Rim shot.
I got him good against
You are not going to come here and play one round against the Rams.
You know what? The Rams doesn't really like when people play one-handed.
You're just like me.
Serpat's a lot. Calling it 7-3.
I just like to try to fuck up their lives.
Barefoot's getting more tickets. All you need is one. Win that ticket to the Big Dog. Give it away on Rose's show 1 week from tomorrow.
So first I got to do that.
Well, what was, no, it went from 10. Was there a straddle?
No.
It was this is a bomb.
Oh, it's a bomb pot.
Unreal. I was trying to just call.
My bad, I'm thinking.
What's the game tomorrow at 1? That is playing some PLO.
It's probably 2-5. I don't know. If Moof's still here, Moof will probably know.
Moof's here, yeah.
What's the river?
I believe you're right. I think it is 2-5 PLO.
5-5.
Oh, 5-5. There we go.
Yeah, 5-5 PLO tomorrow. That should be a fun game.
Oh, for sure. Well, Rose isn't going to be there to keep the table under control, so you never know.
Well, supposedly Mark says he's going to be the captain of
Okay,
that ship. But, I mean, Mark being the captain of a ship, we may be in trouble.
Oh, that's going to be every man for himself then, because Marky Mark on the show with his stories. Hopefully Paddock Jerry will be there. We're hoping to get Newman back. I don't know when he's going to come back to the table. He gave the table a little bit of abuse last time.
Because he won all the chips, or?
Well, no, he was just beating up the table.
The left hand, right hand?
The irritability, yes.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yep.
Yeah. I'm stacking Mark 4 times. How long are we streaming tonight? We're going to stream for about 10 more minutes. We've been on the show since a little after 7 o'clock. We usually do about 3 hours of streaming. Yesterday we didn't make 3 hours because the power went out right when we were on the show. But tonight we're going to go till about 10 o'clock, so about 10 more minutes. If you enjoyed the show, please go ahead and like us, follow us, and subscribe to us. Do the same on YouTube. Barefoot says he watched Kid Poker stream yesterday for several hours, fell asleep. He did like a 10-hour run. You into streaming at all, Mike?
I try to, but having kids, it's hard to really.
I can only imagine the kids screaming in the background.
Yeah. Lots of fun.
Yeah.
Billy takes down that one.
I mentioned a little bit earlier on the show, we're having our 3rd sports card memorabilia show coming up this Sunday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. right here in the second floor poker room. We transformed the second floor poker room into a card show. We have over 70 tables of vendors, which is going to be from the second floor poker room all the way down to the cafe, that's a long way. That's a lot of tables.
That's a lot of tables.
You know, it's getting to the point where we have so many vendors that want to come here that we're someday going to have to move down a level, move down the first floor. I don't know what we're going to do, but it's going to be a great show.
Froggy getting a raise there with ace-7. You might see Beetlejuice ship this here with queens.
Full whales.
Exactly. The killer whales wear the blue.
Nope, just calls. I really would have thought we were going to get a dealer. All in. Wow. 25, 5 ways. Oh boy.
Make sure you get the gem on the live stream.
Rims is known as the tequila guy on the.
Tequila.
He did it.
He did it. He did it.
Dealer. All in. I love it.
You called it, man. That was great.
Sir Potsalot's going to call too with a straight draw. Jack might call here with a flush draw too. I don't think Frog's going to get any further. Kumo V might.
Sleepy Joe gets a double. He's double. He's double the Savage, I am.
Savage.
He does want me. Same turn up.
That's a good question for Barefoot. Do the dealers keep their tips, or is it divided at the end of the shift? I think they're just going to divide it between the both of them, right?
I believe so.
I was with Ray Lewis, so it all went away.
I mean, listen, you got it.
This turn card could get very interesting. Jack raised here. See if Sir Potsalot can see what he decides to do. He's on a straight draw, but he can only hit the Jack right now. Now he's going to let it go. So Jack can hit a heart that doesn't pair the board, and he does. Oof. He cracks the queens. Wow, that's brutal.
I know I had. Wow. No, I had.
That was a tough one for Beetlejuice.
Stone bone.
Yeah, that was a really bad river card for him. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for
That
Beetlejuice.
might be it. Well, welcome to the show, Beetlejuice. We hope you come back sometime soon. Mary's about to cash out, so these guys better watch out.
I'm out.
Come on.
Mary doesn't play.
Nope.
I think this is the perfect time to end the show tonight. My name is Mike Jameson. For a great job by Mike Bernier, and here's the thing: I've got to apologize to you already because of the job you've done tonight. We're gonna invite you back, so whether you liked it or not, you're gonna have to come back and do more shows.
I'll be more than glad to come back. I'm off Thursdays and Fridays, so.
Say, sounds good. Don't tell Noah. You're gonna be back here, man.
Oh, he knows. I told him. I told him. I said, when do you want me to come out here and give it a try? And he goes, we don't have an audition. It's just kind of you're here today.
Yeah.
Be there. So yeah, I loved it.
This is great.
More than willing to come back and hang out with you some more.
I appreciate that. It's the first time we actually met tonight, and we did a show together. I hope everybody's entertained. Again, my name is Mike Jameson for Mike Bernier. Also for Brooklyn B-Man, Brian Gelron, Pat Tiller. Also Skylar Will and Wes, who did a great job producing the show. Hope to see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern as we play some 5-5 PLO right here on twitch.tv/PBKC Poker. On YouTube, just search PBKC Poker, and we're broadcasting live again from PBKC 1111 North Congress Avenue right here in West Palm Beach. And we hope everybody has a great night. See you tomorrow afternoon at 1, and good night.
Tequila kills